Hi there, this is BT Calloway. Welcome to the Simpsons Index. Before we get into the show, I just wanted to tell you about our upcoming project, Pulp Fury Radio, a new podcast anthology series featuring all original stories in classic pulp genres like sci-fi, noir, horror, and fantasy. If you're looking for an escape from the everyday, then you're looking for Pulp Fury Radio. You can find out more at pulpfuryradio.com, with the first episode coming soon to wherever you get your podcasts. Okay, on with the show.
The Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast.
Coming to you out of SideQuest Studios, this is the Simpsons Index, episode 173. Hello out there, I am your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill, and joining me in SideQuest Studios tonight is the one and only Danny. I'm Danny Rosewell.
I'm Danny Rosewell.
And here as always, COVID or not, except when he's not, BT Calloway.
Ahoy, hoy.
And welcome to the Simpsons Index. This is a podcast where we watch and review 3 episodes of The Simpsons at a time, but there's a twist. Each episode must come from a different decade. Who is our sponsor this week?
Elliot, this week our sponsor is Screaming. That's right, whether you're pleading for help or just trying to express your love for a band, Screaming is what you want.
I scream.
Why not
you
try
scream.
some right now? Not
Yeah.
you, because I'm in the same studio, but you at home.
Yeah. And we've got some screaming to do today. Good thing they're our sponsor.
They pay for every scream we use in the episode.
Yeah, I know, so feel free to be liberal with it.
Well,
That's more of a groan. I need a higher pitch.
Who's that guy that said,
Better.
I lean away from the mic to scream?
Chocolate rain.
chocolate scream. Scream away from the mic and scream.
Again.
I don't know. Okay, so this is a big episode today. We've got a lot to cover. There's some big news at the end of it, and there was
You're
a little.
pregnant.
It's impossible, except in that one time, but no. So let's get on with the reviews, and so we can get to more news and topics, and the topics that are inspired by episodes
Get
such as
on
this.
with the reviews. We can
Oh
get
my
back
God.
to the booze.
Muy
Hey.
precante.
We just watched an episode from the HD era, right at the end of the HD era. This was
Really?
season 29, episode 17, Lisa Gets the Blues. First released in April of 2018, it was directed by Bob Anderson, written by Dave Silverman and Brian Kelly, because you needed 2 people to write this one. In this episode, The Simpsons go to New Orleans. Guys, what'd you think?
You know, before we get into this one
Wow.
proper, and I feel like the energy in this room is certainly negativity on this episode, I want to express how good it feels to be back on the drink again with some good friends after this long
you
stay.
know what? He's right. I've missed you guys.
Yeah, no, and it's fun. It's nice to be back. Just, the classic trio, watching some Simpsons, drinking some beers, and
Not that
feeling
any of our other friends and guests are any less.
No, not at all.
No, but it's also nice to talk to friends without lag.
Absolutely. So, Elliot, this was fucking terrible from beginning to end. I'd like to fail this episode. Goodbye.
All right, now we're going to watch an episode from the teens era. This will be The Dad Who Knew Too Little. Bitty, what is this episode?
This is about Homer not knowing enough about this episode.
Well, look, I'm sorry. We can't express
I
this.
know.
Danny,
You
for better or worse, what
guys.
stands out to you from this episode?
Dude, this whole fucking episode stands out to me from this episode. This is incredible. This episode was incredible. I've never been as baffled and horrified and just totally perplexed. It didn't feel like a Simpsons. It didn't feel like cinema. It didn't have a coherent storyline. Nothing made sense.
Yeah. I very rarely exceed a single page of notes for an episode, but for this one I did, and they're mostly negative. There are a couple of shiny spots.
There
Not
were
a
bits
lot.
that I laughed at, and I felt guilty for laughing. I felt like I was betraying humanity, you know?
Well, my one genuine laugh that I remember from the episode is where we meet Bleeding Gum's nephew at the end.
Yeah.
And he goes, he said you were the most promising young musician.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a burn on me. I
Yeah.
loved that. But then
Yeah.
he goes, but he was kind of passive aggressive, and it's like,
And what a waste of a joke.
no, just
Chop that out.
Yeah.
Also, in this whole episode, he doesn't get a name. His
No.
name is Bleeding Gums' nephew.
Well, to be entirely fair, it took us, 29, 28, 27 seasons to find out Bleeding Gum's real name, Oscar.
Yeah.
Oscar.
So, in Simpsons season 60, we'll find out his nephew's name.
So yeah, we get Bleeding Gums' real name in this episode, but we don't get this character who's actually in this episode's actual name.
Patience, Elliot.
Patience! Oh, I'm going to link that Wonder Shows and thing in the
Yeah, it's super
notes of this.
interesting. That was
fantastic.
super interesting.
Oh, we should do an index just on Wonder Shows.
Man,
And
there's so much more to it.
BT, what stands out to you for better or worse?
Just to show kind of how incredibly scattershot and random, weirdly put together this thing is, when Homer starts narrating what's going on, I wrote down, Homer's narrating. This is not going to continue, will it? And it stopped. About 2 scenes later, he wasn't narrating anymore. It's like, we talk about like script in a blender every now and then. This feels like several, but all in the same episode in a blender, because there are parts that start off that just don't continue, and nothing fits together, and it's just such a weird hodgepodge. It's kind of an amazing hodgepodge. You kind of sit there bewildered that this is all happening, but
It goes beyond hodgepodge and turns into hadpodge or whatever you just said.
I don't know.
Hodgepodge.
What are words, Elliot? There's no structure to this episode. There's no sense.
There's no meaning.
Yeah.
There's just
Let's rank
lunacy.
this.
This, quite
Did it
frankly, is the
feel?
perfect 2020 episode, because all of 2020 is just melded together into this big
Yeah.
soup of chaos.
Yeah.
And that's what this is. It's a soup of, or a gumbo of chaos.
Yes.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of tonally inconsistent episodes. Like recently, we did that one that was like Amelie and also RuPaul's Drag Race, and then that other one where it was Selma
fuck?
quits.
Yeah.
Selma quits smoking, but at the same time, Maggie befriends raccoons and tries to save a pigeon or some shit.
What the fuck is going on in the world?
Right?
When did I go? When did they say
When
going
did
crazy?
madness become sane?
It feels like everyone else is going crazy, and
Yeah.
you're getting more and more sane.
Yep.
Don't worry, we're going to end on a very good episode today. I promise.
Fucking better, mate.
We will regain our sanity.
Oh my
Promises,
gosh.
schmomises.
Shit.
Look, play count. Have you guys seen this episode before today?
Have I screamed in the night loudly at the moon asking for meaning from a hunk of rock 1,000 kilometers away? No, I've never seen this episode before.
One time I started drinking, and then I woke up in a desert banging my head against a cactus.
I remember that. As in, I remember that. How do we have the same memories?
Yeah, I've seen this episode before, and mostly because, okay, here's one of my big anecdotes of this podcast today. So, our friend, he's not considering us a friend yet,
Whoa, hey.
but someone we like, Babish from Binging with
Hey.
Babish, who, what would you describe what he does, BT?
Just loveliness. No, he's Binging with Babish is a fantastic YouTube show in which he takes all the famous recipes from various TV shows and actually makes them, or tries to as best he can, and then does a version where he basically makes what they did if it's not physically possible to do what they originally made. So it's like the Mythbusters of food, basically, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I even wrote down, this is where the binging episode comes
The
from. isn't it?
Mythbusters of food.
Yeah, try it as described, and if that doesn't work, then try to make it real.
So the best example is the Out of This World Moon Waffle,
Yeah.
which he made according to the instructions in the
And
episode.
destroyed his waffle iron. But that's what the man does.
enough.
Salute.
But then, he takes the inspiration, the smoke, the caramel, the butter, excessive amounts of butter,
So much butter.
and makes a good version of it. But anyway, to celebrate his 5 million subscribers, he remade Homer's food rant in this episode, which...
Oh, man.
And it's funny that you decided to time it because I was timing it.
No, I decided, like, after a while of thinking, how long could this possibly be? I thought, I'll start timing maybe with only 10 seconds left. It ended up being 35 seconds, but Elliot, how long was that montage?
A minute and a half.
A minute and a half in an episode that already had an intro throwing back to the Tracy Ullman shorts for no reason because it was completely unrelated to anything, and then had a very long introduction sequence. What?
Dude, in a 20-minute episode of standard television, people would be like, wow, that frame was like 2 whole seconds long. What were they thinking?
Like, it makes no sense. I'll get back to the Babish thing, but yeah, the intro of this episode, like, they clearly had nothing else but, like, fuck it, let's put a Tracy Ullman short at the start of this one.
Yeah, and then
This
they
is
do
insane.
multiple false takes of the Simpsons because first the Simpsons, but it says the Flintstones. They rewind, they do it again. It's the Simpsons.
They did a false start
and they do it like
bit.
4 times, and
What
that's
the
before
fuck
the
are they
rest
thinking?
of the extended. Oh my god, everything about this.
And they only cut the intro short to segue into the episode. They segue, from Lisa's saxophone playing into fucking Largo and Skinner just heaping shit on her for no apparent
And I
reason.
hated that so much because Largo was all like, oh, well, Lisa, you're very good, but you'll never be big because for every Yo-Yo Ma, there's 10,000 Mama Yo's.
I didn't mind the line, actually. For every Shaun White, there's a million White Shauns.
Yeah, but
That's
racist.
just
but the fact that
against
Skinner
snowboarders?
the fact that Skinner is saying this is what really pissed me off. Skinner would never give up on a child like that ever.
No.
Hey, wanting them the best quality of life is not giving up on them.
Their star pupil of the entire school, they're going to be like, you know what? Give up. Give up and wallow, you fucker.
Which, paraphrasing slightly, but not too far off either.
But dude man.
Man.
But, comma space, dude man.
For every dude man, there's a man dude. Anyway.
This guy. Surely she's not a star pupil for her sax playing. Like, if you give up on your dream of your statistically unlikely dream of becoming a super millionaire musician, that still leaves being a genius, brilliant doctor / scientist / bikini
You've
model.
just stumbled into a better story idea that Lisa's not doing as well as other subjects because of her sax playing, and that it affects her other schoolwork. And
that would be an amazing perspective from Skinner to say, look, your rest of your work is suffering, and honestly, do you really think you're going to make it in jazz? But
I wasn't stumbling.
Even
you knew exactly what you were doing,
Fucking
you
it.
genius, you.
but even then, like Lisa, the idea that she plays jazz because she loves it, it's not about becoming a success. I think even the most ambitious idea she's ever had is release an album that's underappreciated and die before 30.
Yeah.
Has been like her stated mission in life.
The point of music shouldn't be about, or at least to someone like Lisa, the point of music isn't success and fame and glory. It's about expressing yourself.
Hell, Bleeding Gums Murphy told her that music is a fire that burns inside you, so you better put an instrument in front of it.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, this is a room full of music graduates.
Yeah, but that one quote is better than this entire episode.
Absolutely, that's a line.
Yeah.
Sorry, much like Chocolate Rain, I have to swear off mic every now and
Is his
then.
name Babish?
No,
No,
it's actually not.
I think it's Andrew.
No, they did
Oh.
explain it once, and it used to just be his like AOL handle that he just continued on for shits and gigs. Or something weird like that.
Right.
So to celebrate Babish's 5 million subscribers to his YouTube channel, his mission was to recreate Homer's New Orleans binge. And because they make specific references to restaurants in New Orleans in this bit, like there are...
There are so many, sorry to cut off your story, but there are so many like title drops, ad drops of product placements, and this whole section is like, wow, advertising like crazy.
Yeah. See, this is... this is...
That's the
if
feeling.
this 1.5 minute thing was a solo YouTube thing and it was a partnership between Simpsons and the city New Orleans...
It's fucking paid advertising, isn't it?
Well, look, I'd accept that 1.5 minute thing on YouTube on its own without this episode around it. This just makes it feel grosser.
It is so much padding in an episode that has so little going for it. Everything feels like it was written on a napkin.
And it's fucking New Orleans. Yeah. How can you not build an amazing story out of it?
Yeah, I mean, for listeners at home, I can't remember. Did you go to New Orleans when you went to...
I sure did.
Hells yeah, you remember the gumbo
fucking
shop,
bet
and it
I
was
do.
freaking delicious.
Yeah.
Again, 3 people who have been to this place who genuinely loved all the booze and especially the food. There's so much food, and like you and I...
Hey, we are not doing 1.5 minutes advertising this place. That's been done.
My point
These
being-
people have suffered enough.
Yeah, I know. I was like genuinely curious because I know the city of New Orleans had a problem with a streetcar named Marge. Were they angry about this episode? Because they
it's a court
should
settlement.
be.
What is it, like fucking 25 years later after, the season 4
Yes!
episode?
Litigation
New
takes a long time.
Orleans.
It really does.
What do they call it? The Sodom and Gomorrah of the Mississippi?
New Orleans, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, like, you were telling a story.
No, it's good. It's padding it out. I can't imagine we've got too much actually to say
I have a
about this
page and
episode.
a half of notes.
I took no notes.
So anyway, Babish does this thing, big crew, plans out the destination, maps out this whole thing, figures out exactly where he needs to go. Day 1 into his trip, they've done 10 restaurants. All his crew are fucking stuffed and
Oh, man,
filled.
10. Jeez.
Well, because the way they planned it out, they had, I think it was like 50 or something restaurants over 4 days or something.
He does talk for 1.5 minutes, so yeah.
Yeah. So they planned it all out, and the second day, they pull up their phones. There is a video going viral. A woman named with the YouTube channel of Katrin von Niederhausen with a video called Katrin and Janine Do Homer's New Orleans. So it had actually only been uploaded 3 days earlier to that point, so like 2 days before they left to go do this thing. And the exact thing that they were planning, they were going to recreate every shot, recreate every bit of food that they... And day one into this journey, and someone else just fucking did it.
Yeah.
Not knowing of each other, and he still persisted and did the video, and
They're married
Slightly
now.
disheartened,
and referenced that one and said, yeah, look, they were first. Fuck.
Okay, man. Like, you don't have to be the first person to walk on the moon.
It's still an achievement. You've still done something. You've put your footprints on the moon.
Well, that's it, man. It's how you walk on the moon. Or so my girlfriend says.
Yeah, if you're not the first to walk on the moon, then play golf on the moon,
That's it. Moonwalk on the moon.
So was this a particularly wacky episode of The Simpsons?
Fucking bet it was.
I forgot to start writing down wacky because I was so confused by everything going on.
Dude.
There's a joke I kind of liked. Because again, there are moments in this episode I liked where Lisa goes to play the sax and she gets like a vertigo thing and it becomes this long kind of instrument full of 1,000 buttons. I did like
Great
that POV.
shot. I thought it was a good shot. I don't think it was a great joke.
No. The follow-up where Homer does the same thing with his beer and
With
his
his
beer
beer.
stays
Boo.
extended in vertigo. I hated that.
Well, because especially, like, it feels like The Simpsons are the last people to do a story specifically using the word yips as well. Like,
Yeah, Yips is done.
Yeah,
But-
30 Rock did it 1,000 years ago.
oh man, with Pete Hornberger and he
30
fucking
Rock years.
shoots Jenner in the foot with an archery arrow.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, but anyway, that feeling of looking down at your instruments like, oh, how does this work?
Dude, I've been there every night of my fucking life.
It's like trying to play an instrument on LSD.
And I know nothing about that.
No.
Or not on LSD.
For any
Jesus.
mothers who might be listening.
What do you reckon, Shag? Was this a particularly wacky episode of The
for
Simpsons?
any mothers that might be listening. Sorry. I'm sorry. You really got me for some reason. Yeah, dude, this is crazy wacky.
That's the thing. It's not the impossible wacky. It's merely the improbable wacky for
Yeah.
the most part. I mean, the
you
statue does come to life and talk to Lisa. However, we have precedent for this. Apparently, Lisa has this power.
To make ghosts? Oh, yeah, Bleeding Gums Murphy,
Yeah,
I suppose.
like-
Well, she does it as well back when she talks to the Jefferson Monument. When the Lincoln
It was
Monument is busy.
imagination statue.
Was
but,
it, though? Or
but
is Lisa
Homer
magic?
saw it and talked to it as well. So no, not this time. Maybe last time.
The spirit of Louis Armstrong still exists in New Orleans, apparently.
Did he actually say he was Louis Armstrong at any point?
No,
Yeah.
that's the other
Yeah?
one. Did
No.
they? I only kind of figured it out.
No, it was legally distinct. It was a statue of a black man with a really gravelly voice, and you're supposed to assume that's Louis Armstrong.
Fair enough. He has a very signature voice.
Yeah.
But it sort of also feels really weird, and like in this whole Black Lives Matter time, it's just like strangely racy thing to do.
Sometimes you can really tell this is a show written by white people, starring
So
white
fucking
people.
white, bro.
Like Lisa at the end when she's
oh,
like...
I want to scat, baby. Skip, scap, a deep tap, doop. I
But was
want
this
to.
a particularly heartfelt episode of The Simpsons? Did you feel the bumps?
Okay, they try. Right at the end when she meets Bleeding Gum Murphy's nephew, the idea that she remembers what she originally loved about playing music
Yeah,
instead
he
of
did
this the
try for
idea
the-
of... Oh, they tried. By then, I was so tired and angry of everything, and I just wanted to burn it all down. That mixed feeling of, I want to walk out in the cold and freeze to death while also on fire, and I want to see what kills me first.
Angry. I was
But like,
so angry.
the guy's like, here's a simple plan. Lisa's like, that's a simple plan. Yeah, it is. Your simple plan worked. And my note, Deus Sax, marking up.
Hey. Lean away from the mic. Hey.
Lean away from the mic to sweat. Fuck!
Yeah.
Yeah, so the emotions?
I mean, the idea, the concept was floating somewhere near this script. It wasn't in the script.
Yeah.
It was
It's
like on a post-it stuck near the script somewhere.
The best psychopaths don't have emotions, but they've learned how to look like they have emotions.
Yeah, how
so
to
close
mimic
you can't.
feelings.
It's indistinguishable from the real thing, except for the fact that they're fucking insane.
Yeah.
Not you guys, psychopaths. I'm really talking about the episode here.
This isn't an insane episode.
This is just nuts, man. Fucking nuts.
And I hate that they dragged New Orleans into it because, one, it's a perfect Lisa story to go to fucking New Orleans to discover.
Rediscover a passion for jazz, absolutely.
And
yeah.
why did they hitch her to Homer for all this?
Why did you guys go to New Orleans random by accident with no idea what to do there? And then suddenly you're like, oh, by the way, there's jazz here, I think, maybe.
Man, that was my other big problem with this.
This
is
was
that,
a story about her losing her love of jazz and music.
Yeah.
And well, fiddly-dee, we coincidentally are in New Orleans. What a dumb fucking idea is that?
No, you have to remember the reason they were coincidentally in New Orleans. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh my God.
They were flying to like Boringsville or whatever it was called.
Oh my God.
And
Gainesville, Florida.
Gainesville. And to
Fucking
be
hit
fair,
the gym and max out in
there's
Gainesville.
Oh, there's so many things I don't even know where to start unpacking.
Dude.
So they plan to go to Marge's auntie in Gainesville. And there is a quick joke I like, which is like the flights to Gainesville are like $19 and the flights out are $99. But again,
that's good.
why we were having a music montage at this point, I don't even know. But then on the plane, we have a whole riot, and that's why they have to land early. But then why is the next scene Marge being like, oh, we're in New Orleans, may as well have a great time. So no, you catch another flight.
This is so fucking dumb. I mean, they still would have been in Gainesville, like...
Yeah.
And the emotions of her poor aunt who's just, doing this sad, solemn, and slow happy birthday.
Yeah.
And again,
yeah.
were the Simpsons the only people coming to this birthday?
Yes, apparently.
I guess, apparently. This character we've never heard of before.
But like they've done this bit, like the sad, can I come too sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need 30 seconds of the song. We get the joke.
There are too many of these extended moments, and like,
Why did their airplane, why did they write, the script writers, why did they make it so the fucking airplane like rioting is why they couldn't go to Gainesville, but hey, we can still take the airplane somewhere else. Let's go to, I don't know, spin a bottle, New Orleans. What the fuck is this? What
be
the
entirely
fucking
fair,
psycho shit is this?
They're on their way to Florida. It's kind of in transit.
Dude.
Well, now the real question is, why is there a quick Warriors reference in the middle of this riot?
That was really weird.
Yeah.
But that's not the real question. This is insane. This is like loco. I'm watching this and I don't understand how this gets made. It is like looking at crazy.
did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Perfect
Fuck
timing.
no.
Perfect timing.
I mean, which character is on? Point me to the character that was on point.
Oh.
Point to me on this voodoo doll. Which character was...
Where the Simpsons touched you?
Okay. Well, look, let's see.
And once again, voodoo fucking works in the realm of The Simpsons.
Look,
I already
that's
know
fine. Simpsons Schmimpsons. That's
Voodoo is the least problematic part of this. Not problematic, that's got a different term
for
now.
real, man. Voodoo works in real life when the victim is like so convinced that voodoo's real that there's like placebo effects. And that's what happened here. They were like, is it Gainesville voodoo? No, it's New Orleans voodoo. Oh shit, voodoo.
Again, this fucking whiteboard writing of New Orleans, and it's like the
offensive.
the whiteboard had 50 dishes, beignets,
And voodoo.
Fuck.
Yeah.
voodoo.
Now, to be entirely
Fuck
fair,
this.
if you're going to New Orleans, a list of 50 places to eat, beignets, and voodoo is what you should do.
I'm not criticizing Homer's list. That's a good list. But also, Dan Castellaneta's delivery of that was flat as shit. He didn't sound excited. He didn't
it
sound
doesn't
hungry.
matter.
He was listing off crap.
It's a minute
Yeah.
and a half. It is literally 5% of this episode, and he's just making a list.
He's doing 5% energy.
It's insane.
Even 100% energy would not make that good.
And they didn't mention the fucking, oh God, what's the burger place we adored?
Clover Grill.
Clover Grill.
Or Tickler's Bar.
Hey, we are not doing this. We are not doing a
Brought
minute and a
to
half.
you by Clover's Grill.
And
If you want
Tickler's
the
Bar.
best goddamn burger you've ever had in your entire life, Clover's Grill.
And that other bar where we got that really rare Espelon that we've never seen again, and
I
it looks
know.
like if Espelon was a gimp.
Espelon Black, if you're listening, please come back to me.
Oh man, there was that one bar by the station that had like a Bloody Mary where they just chucked in bits from under the sink and whatever they found in their shoes.
Oh, yeah, I got like a margarita slushy that was bigger than my head. I'm like, if I drink this, I will literally die.
Man.
Yeah, because I remember you ordered that, and I'm like, I don't know if you've noticed, but margaritas around here look like fucking Slurpees from the Quickie Mart.
I did
Yeah.
not notice.
Yeah.
Henceforth, my confusion. I drank maybe a tenth of it, was drunk, and then we threw it up.
So that's the thing with New Orleans as well. Like, all the fucking drinks are just so loaded with sugar. Like, you see those people walking around with the yard glasses with the, grenade?
Or the literal fish tanks.
Yeah.
But their Bloody Marys are the best on the planet.
Oh, their food is the best on the planet. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Chicken etouffee. God damn.
Yeah, like when we got there, we're like, okay, now we're both big eaters. However, we can only eat so many times.
Guys, we're falling right into the same trap the Simpsons writers did.
I know, but we've fucking been in New Orleans. We wanna...
Yeah, well, clearly they had just been to New Orleans, and they were like, so what did I do on my summer vacation? Click on the first slide, me and Aunt Selma are shaving our legs at the beach. Click on
You
the
know
second
what? You're right. Let's get back to this episode review, which is largely something like, fucking...
Yes or no? Would you watch this episode
Fuck
again?
no.
Click on the third slide, me and Homer try to grab...
BT, what would you change?
Everything.
I'd change everything!
Look, the very core of this, both the kids have a problem. They find a way. Actually, no, fuck Bart's story. It's awful. It doesn't make sense.
What was Bart's story?
It was he got bullied by the bullies for bullying the bullies, so now he needs Voodoo to resolve that. Leave Bart and Voodoo alone.
That was the story.
That was
For some reason, I felt like that was a gag in the overall story, you know?
Did this lead into any worthwhile material? No, but it did lead to fucking Milhouse having a crush on Maggie.
Yes, and Bart gets his eyes whited out.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, the fucking Annie bit.
Fuck me.
It wasn't just a one-off. He was still whited out later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They play these gags with the eyes and they almost never work. I think the only one I like is when, you know, Homer tries to go to sleep and Marge's eyes are still open in that dark room and it's like, honey, I'm trying to sleep. Could you close your eyes? You know, that has been the only bit I like.
Yeah.
The rest of them don't make any sense.
Because it's quick, it makes a quick parody on cartoon conventions,
And it
fucking walks out the door.
It doesn't involve drawing on someone's eyeballs.
Dude.
Stop doing this, Simpsons.
Dude.
What else would you change, BT?
Okay, the very core of Lisa realize that's my problem though. The very core of this is Lisa feeling like she will never be a famous jazz musician. She's never wanted that. Every time we've gone to flash forward, every time we've talked about her dreams and aspirations, she's wanted to be an academic of some kind, not a jazz musician. It's just so weird, and you can do something with that. I suppose we've had that before with separate vocations, where she becomes a bad girl because she feels like, hey, jazz is never going to get me anywhere. But it's so stuck together on this episode that it feels just go to New Orleans. Find literally any other reason to go to New Orleans. If you're going to have this as a plot line, which is fine, support it better and then follow it better and then just make everything better.
Danny, what would you like to change?
So you're saying you like the core of the episode?
I could. I didn't like this core, but the idea of the core. That's how far removed from this episode we are. The idea of the car was entirely plausible and possible and compelling.
Sure.
But it was not well done.
What's a bird's favorite part of the apple? What would you like to change?
I was unhappy with the intro bleeding into the storyline. In like a Treehouse of Horror or something more surrealist, I'd be fine with that sort of thing. But it made me feel like I was watching the very first HD episode. I was like, wow, look how cool our HD technology is and blah, 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 blah.
You know, I could have been okay with that if when they had Lisa leave the music auditorium and then that's when Largo starts talking to her, continued from there. It's the fact that they then cut back to the couch gag to have the Simpsons family be like, oh, we can't do the couch gag without Lisa. And it's like, wait, is this the episode or is this the gag? I'm so confused.
Do go on. BT, please pass me that highlighter.
It sucked. It's at your right foot, just right. There we go. I wasn't very happy with that, but I could see its place in a different episode. I don't know why they did it here. You know, structurally, coming in from the thing, it didn't add anything to the storyline. It was theoretically a grounded sort of, hang on, wait. Oh, that was great. Wait. Oh, that was a pretty good one.
You know it's not Corona because if it was Corona, you wouldn't at the end.
I've heard that.
That is a common non-symptom.
Huh. Well, there you go.
It might be elephantitis, though.
Yeah, so look, that thing really shut me off. But more than that, oh, God, everything. Fucking shit. I can't. It's hard to make a sentence without addressing every other sentence.
It's been so long since there's been an episode I've wanted to just burn to the ground.
Wow. I think this is my new worst ever.
Yeah, look, I love that they went to New Orleans. It's perfect. It's jazz, it's food.
Sure.
You've got the family nailed. And there's just some better way to have Lisa disillusioned with music and, you know, in the way that was pitched before.
Super interesting. Conceptually.
Yeah.
But that fucking airplane scene is the stupidest way to derail. And why have the first half?
Fuck all the things with Gainesville, Florida. It's just unnecessary setup of thing that they fucking pull the rug out.
The fuck is going on?
It's just dumb. Just go straight to New Orleans. You want to inspire Lisa to be in love with jazz again. That's where you go. Like, you see that Lisa's disillusioned and it's like, you don't want to tell her that, yeah, she's going to be the best jazz musician, but you don't want a fucking losing love of something that she loved. You want to spark that fire. New Orleans is the perfect place to do that. I don't know how they fucked this up this badly.
The napkins that they wrote the screenplay on, got mixed up.
The cocaine. All the cocaine. Yeah, look, I really, really didn't like that they suddenly dropped everything and did a random spin of the bottle as the pilots of all people chose to suddenly go to a totally different airport for no reason at all. That really upset me. And wow. Clearly, when there's such a coherent reason to go to New Orleans, you know? If that was where you wanted to be, and she's already developed a jazz issue. Also, they didn't seed, like, Bleeding Gums as Murphy's in the start of the storyline, so he comes back at the end or something. Also, they didn't give him a fucking name. Also,
What if fucking Marge or Bart or someone else discovered that Bleeding Gums Murphy's nephew was
yes,
in
and we
New
have
Orleans?
to go to New Orleans and find him and rediscover jazz.
Homer keeps distracting from the trip because he wants to go eat at these places, and they're like, no, we need to go to this jazz place.
Yes.
So guest stars for this episode, Dawn Lewis from Futurama fame was one of the co-pilots. She plays La Barbara in Futurama.
Oh, yeah.
Also playing himself was Trombone Shorty with his big line of humidity, 98%.
Ah.
Okay.
Why wasn't he playing Bleeding Gums Murphy fucking Neff? Like, Trombone Shorty's an amazing musician. If you're going to get Trombone Shorty, use Trombone Shorty. Fucking hell. BT, do you have any other notes?
I do indeed. Okay, I kind of liked when they dress Bart up like Little Orphan Annie and like now sing like we rehearsed. I kind of like the idea of rehearsed bullying. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, but then it's like,
it went
open
too
your
long.
mouth until the food is full. And
That
then
was
his mouth gets
bad.
filled with food.
Yeah, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Snake's dead. But again, it's kind of a joke I liked where Wiggum's just kind of, they're talking about the yips and talking about how you can suddenly fail at something you've done 10,000 times, and Wiggum's reaching for the electrocution switch and just can't make it.
Yep. And then Snake was dead.
And Snake was dead.
And we watched him die.
I know. Marge makes the note that, oh no, it's not Dullsville. If we're lucky, we can take a day trip out to Dullsville. I kind of like that. I hated, after Homer's minute and a half of listing food places, we then get a list of vomitoriums he can go to.
Oh,
We've
right.
not had enough fucking listing! Millhouse's voodoo dead because Maggie has a voodoo doll of him that clearly works, and then she rips the head off.
Yep.
So she should.
But the voodoo didn't work at any point.
At the very end...
Bart's voodoo didn't work. Maggie's did.
No. At the very end, Lisa is wearing a series of plastic beads. This comes from Mardi Gras, where
Showing
you
her
get
tits?
the beads for showing
her
your
tits?
That's the suggestion.
This episode's got some fucking creepy pedophile shit.
And there was some weird bit at the end where Homer's like, well, next episode will be Gunsmoke. It's like, but what about the radio version? It's like, what are we talking about? I got so lost. I feel like I must have lost something.
Because, yeah, an episode with fucking 4 intros must also have fucking 4 endings as well. Doing the whole brain trippy explosion when they're eating food. It's just taking up so much time. Danny, do you have any other notes?
I actually really want to like go through it scene by scene and like have a serious sit down with this one, because this is my number one. This is my new number one. Like, the thing about a lot of the ones that I used to hate is that I'm really excited to go back. Like, Bart gets his gypsy art teacher pregnant, and the horse has a musical number at the end. I'm so excited to see that again.
The cubic failure.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But this...
It doesn't have that redeeming so bad it's good quality at all.
Dude, it left me feeling so angry and confused and hurt. You know?
Yeah, I do. And yeah, my only other notes on this one is, Lisa's looking up, like, she's looking up to find out what the yips is.
Yep.
And the first thing she lands on is ADHD, and I'm like, wow, what a fucking clear explanation of what this episode's got. Yeah. And also Homer, when he does that weird perspective beer thing, he's got beer-to-go.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Fucking proud of that pun.
I didn't like the joke where like, oh, no, that's mom's disease. Oh, no, that's my disease. That's Maggie's disease. That's dad's. That's dad's. That's dad's.
Eating
that's
up
dad's.
time. So much of it.
Seriously. They didn't name any of the disease because they haven't got any jokes there. They're just pretending. They're like nodding at it, pretend there was a joke here. That would have been funny.
Like, with the Louis Armstrong thing, he's like, you can request a song. Not Wonderful World. Wonderful World.
Yep.
Fucking
wasting
my
time.
Also, the characters just had that weird fucking Disney rubberiness about them that, is so inconsistent with the early vision of the show. It's time to rank this thing on the Simpsons Index. We'll rank using our 6-point scale, which starts down the bottom at failure. Maybe the episode was just, you give it participant, but for the positive rankings, you got okay bronze, good silver, excellent gold, but for the best of the very best, you give cubic zirconia. Danny's going to go first. He's going to show you how it's done.
What? This is new.
He sounded prepared.
He did.
Actually, you were way more prepared.
I yelled it at the beginning.
So
this one we all had a few notes on, and I think there were a few times we all laughed. So it had a lot of redeeming qualities. It was absolutely a failure.
I'm giving it a failure. This episode sucks. It's fucked.
Yeah, we need a ranking below failure now.
If we did the meltdown thing, this would be a meltdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the question is it a cubic failure? Is it a failure so wonderfully bad that it's worth watching? And even then, no, everything about this structurally is just garbage. Look, we've called a lot of things garbage before. We've said garbage fire before. I want to say, not only is this a garbage fire, the garbage truck is on fire, the sanitation department is on fire,
The Museum of Fire
municipality of the city is on fire, and the city doesn't care to put it out. This is awful, awful, awful garbage, and it is a failure.
Unanimous failure. We are giving this episode the
Index Finger.
It will be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th episode from season 29 to be called a unanimous failure. Joining Treehouse of Horror 28. That's the one where Homer eats himself.
Yeah.
Grampy, Can You Hear Me? The Old Blue Mare, She Ain't What She Used to Be, where Marge becomes Springfield's mayor. Mr. Lisa's Opus. Oh, that's that weird fucking Lisa time jump and goes to college one.
That was poor.
Gone Boy, the season 29 Sideshow Bob traps Bart in a nuclear bunker, and Frink Gets Testy.
This wasn't my favorite season.
No.
This is a terrible season.
It is almost, it's redeeming. Only redeeming quality is that it's nice to have a new contender for the pit of hell.
But, we must turn to our other reviewers and see what they thought. And we ask, is that reputation justified?
Is that reputation justified? Nice.
Dennis Perkins of the AV Club.
Oh, Dennis, the wild card Perkins. What are you doing?
He gave it a C+.
Dennis.
It's a bit above a failure. It's mostly a participant sort of ranking. And I had to practice this earlier because this is Dennis Perkins at his most verbose.
Okay.
It's momentarily affecting, especially with Yardley Smith giving voice to Lisa's pain. But Lisa Gets the Blues quickly scatters any intention of recapturing the old Lisa Simpson
Scatters.
tragic comedy resonance over a succession of self-referential gags, inconsistently sketched character beats, and some of the most indulgent tourist rubbernecking the show has ever done.
Dennis.
See, Dennis, you give that the lowest score you can.
Yeah, that's an AV Club D right there.
That's a great speech. I'm totally on board with him.
What
But
he's
that's
saying
not a
is
C.
amazing, but it's not a C+. Jeez.
Not a C+.
F.
Move the fuck on.
You know what, Dennis? Embrace your hatred. It's there, and I want to see you hate something.
You're sounding very Palpatine there.
Good. Good. Embrace your hate.
It's time to move on to the teens era. Let's put that one beside and aside.
On fire.
Yes. And we're going to watch season 14's The Dad Who Knew Too Little. What's this episode about?
I fielded this before. Would you like to take it, Danny?
Oh, sure. This is one where Bart finds out that he's got a child with an IQ greater than Bart's.
Wow.
Interesting.
How complex.
Bart the Genius too.
It's like I Am Sam.
I am Bart.
Yeah.
Bart I am.
We'll be right back after this cartoon.
And we are back, and we just watched our Teens Era episode. This was Season 14, Episode 8, good time signature, The Dad Who Knew Too Little.
Nerd!
First released in January of 2003, it was directed by Mark Kirkland, written by Matt Selman. In this episode, Homer doesn't get Lisa the diary she wanted for her birthday, which it's Lisa's birthday again, and gets her like this Mad Libs videotape which proves he knows nothing about her, and then he hires a private investigator to find out things about her. Chaos. Guys, what'd you think?
Hey, Elliot.
Air.
What age of birthday was it? It was very careful not to say what she was turning.
That's true.
I mean, a lot of people don't like to talk about their ages.
On their birthdays?
I haven't been to a birthday in a long time where someone's actually stated what, they've been like, it's the second anniversary, my 30th. Aww.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't even make those inflatable balloons for older than 30.
No.
You know those ones that are individual numbers?
Yeah.
Can't get it older than 30.
You have to buy a 3-year-old balloon and a 0-year-old balloon.
Oh, but everyone can tell.
Yeah. Different.
And then it's just sad because it's like, oh, I'm 30 and I've got balloons at my own party that say how old I am.
Yeah. It's not funny yet until you're 69.
It really
or
isn't.
96.
No, that's not funny.
That's just going to bed disappointed.
Like I do every night.
Oh, God.
So yeah, this episode was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but it was. But it wasn't.
I thought it got better.
Yeah.
I thought it got worse.
Well.
Oh, let's get into it. BT, for better or worse, what stands out to you from this episode?
I'd like to split my opinion across two, specifically the opening and closing of this. It begins with the Simpsons watching television. We often discuss, I really like when we start by watching people watching TV. I don't know why. The Simpsons always do it really well. 90% of the time, it's a good opening. And this one, they're watching Pads, which is like the, celebrity home parody. And they go to Krusty, and he's like, this was today. All right. He's just... I like how his pool is full of shrimp and they're still shooting it as though it's, crazy and wild and whoa, look at this way this rich person lives. And then Elliot Gould beats the shit out of him. That's fun.
Yeah, Elliot Gould. Are you guys familiar with this dude?
Yeah, he's...
I heard he beat up a clown once.
Next to a pile of shrimp in a pool?
Yeah.
He's Ross and Monica's dad from Friends.
Keep it into the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but it didn't really look like him in the show.
He pops up in things. That's his deal. He shows up in things.
He's a thing pop-upper.
I don't think I've really seen any of the movies he's in. Bugsy, The Silent Partner, MASH. Oh, MASH.
Oh, those are from years ago.
Yeah, he's in the OG MASH movie. That's right.
American History X.
Yeah.
But interestingly, he's best known for the movie Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice.
Yep.
Which is what his fist and feet names are.
I was wondering what that was a reference to. I didn't get that. Now I get that. I just got smarter. That's nice.
Danny, do you have fist names?
I call this one Lefty. And this other one, I call Mr. Perfect.
Nice.
Interesting. BT?
Peaches and cream.
Oh,
Perfect.
fuck.
Perfect.
Don't want to run into you in a dark alley.
I call my left one Stop, and I call my right one Hammer Time.
I'm going with Mario and Wario.
Nice.
Because this hand's fatter and hairier than the other one.
Didn't need to know that. My other thing was at the very end when the hard-boiled detective is all like, when you first walked into my office, I knew I'd shoot you in a hall of mirrors.
Yeah.
I got a chuckle out of that. Elliot, what would you take away from this episode?
Well, also, a namesake appearing on a show. It's still weird for me to hear someone, even a character or a real person, be called Elliot. It hits my ear weird. Does that happen to either of you?
No.
Dude, there are so many Daniels in fucking everything.
There is one BT.
One BT, but many whatever those BTs stand for.
There's Elliot in Scrubs and Elliot in E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
I know, and they always hit the ear weird, but like Elliot Gould, he's one of those double T motherfuckers.
He is
no time for that shit.
classier.
I have time to write exactly one T.
Okay, so a moment that stands out to me
Yes.
is she saves the day with the laser pointer in the hall of mirrors, but she like pats the fucking scriptwriters on the back by going, hey, remember this item we dropped in scene 1, episode 1? I'm putting it right here in case you...
Remember the Chekhov's laser pointer we
'Cause
established earlier?
Yeah, wow.
Look at us doing...
Scriptwriters. Oh, they know how to do an insert. As if they didn't think of that at the end of the movie and reinsert. You're not fucking Bill and Ted with time machines.
We're writers.
Well, I mean, at least it wasn't a Deus laser pointer X pointer.
Just a quick side note, I enjoy that you say we're writers in the same tone of voice. We're owl exterminators.
That's who I pictured as the modern Simpsons writing staff is. Yeah, Ignar, Bertram, and whatever the fuck the triplets are called.
Owl exterminators. Shout out to Futurama.
Bertram?
The show itself.
Oh, they are owl exterminators.
There he is.
Well, then they'll have no problem exterminating this owl.
Did you say the moment that stands out to you?
Dude, but it was my laser pointers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Patting on the back.
Yeah,
owl exterminators.
That's it. I really did not like that they point at how smart they are for setting it up instead of just pulling it out of thin air. Like, let's fucking pat yourself on the back moment.
Yeah.
And I mean, it really felt forced that suddenly there was a laser pointer and he gives it to Lisa in his first half. There's no reason for that to be a setup for the later thing. Also, if Bart buys a laser pointer, he's keeping a laser pointer.
Well, I did actually like the joke at the start with, him using the laser pointer to point at Skinner, who apparently, they've got a direct line of sight to each other's houses then.
Yeah, fair.
He must have moved. He used to be on a old house overlooking the school.
Well, yeah, Springfield did, move the whole town a few times now.
True.
Yeah.
Play count. Have you seen this episode before?
Yes.
Oh.
Was it a particularly wacky episode of The Simpsons?
Oh my, yes.
Hmm.
We got a full gambit of wacky here as well. We got kind of depressing wacky when Carl's all like, I hired this private investigator to figure out who was cobbling shoes in my sleep. Turns out I have severe schizophrenia. Like,
What the fuck was that?
Is that what schizophrenia?
No.
No. He'd be more multiple personality disorder. And even then, those are tangentially related at best. But I do like when the investigator goes to intimidate Skinner. I was like, I need to see Lisa Simpson's permanent record. He's like, can't show you that. Just, well, this is a nice, tidy office. It would be a shame if someone shuffled these papers.
Oh, man.
And he
that
shuffles them
son
like,
of a...
oh, I can easily put them back in order. Then he staples them. And that's
Fucking
Oh.
And
I
you-
felt that fucking staple, man, in my soul.
good bit.
And you can get that thing that looks like a little crocodile monster to pull a staple out, but those papers will never be the
Never
same.
do. They'll have little tiny perforations in them that will never go away.
Well, because he didn't straighten them either, so that indentation from the staple is just going to be off from every bit of paper.
Yep.
Yeah.
We get a bit of Homer, like drawing different facial expressions on with his disguise wax.
Oh, yeah, the wax disguise is pretty funny.
Puts on his glasses, which is not a bad bit.
Wackiness wax.
Ooh,
Nice.
waxiness.
Yeah, I can't tell if it was diminishing returns, though, from the tier. Because, yeah, it's a joke that I hated, liked, and then was like, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't an amazing joke, but it was enjoyable to watch anyway.
But I
Yeah.
think my favorite piece of whack is when...
I know, we're still talking about this one, man.
Oh, well,
Excuse
breeze.
me. Excuse
Excuse me, I'm trying to keep up the entertainment and pace of this episode. Y'all are on your own.
Breezing through all your notes, just ready to jump ship. We haven't explored this ship and found all the inventory things we can pick up. I've been playing
like
Last
the
of Us.
look of Homer with the hair. With the Elvis hair, he's gorgeous, you know?
Mm.
And then he adds the Buddy Holly glasses, and I'm just like, girl, give me some of that. Ooh.
But then he adds like the fucking Bert from Ernie and Bert style eyebrows.
The Bert from Ernie and Bert.
The
No,
Bert,
wait. It's Bert and Ernie. It is not from Ernie and Bert. Parallel universe, motherfucker.
What are you talking? It's so Ernie and Bert.
Beach, it's Bert and Ernie.
100%. Not even a question.
Whoa.
Bert and Ernie?
It's Bert and Ernie. Are you crazy?
Maybe.
Are you from like Mirror's World, backwards man?
I always knew I was going to kill you here.
In a hall of mirrors.
So any other wackiness?
Oh, now you're okay with it.
Plenty.
Yeah, I think my favorite bit was when the police are trying to trace the call at the Simpsons house, and they're like, okay, we've got a location. All right, let's go. Right after dinner. And there was Flash Marge, this big expectant smile. Like,
Here's hoping. Is this working?
I didn't mind the police in this
So
episode.
fucking weird, man, but I loved it.
Cut it out, Lou. You're making silly faces at me. This monkey just has my ex-wife's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the police in this episode. They're usually such the bane of my existence.
Mm-hmm.
You activist, you.
In
Yeah,
the
man.
Simpsons.
I was a member of Petita.
Man, those pigs really kept that makeup on. Or like everyone that saves them and rescues them and sells them and watches them and reports on them and journalizes, everyone's just like, no, don't touch it. I like it on.
Yeah, there was a weird bit where Homer's looking at all the pigs in makeup. He's like, so sad, yet so sexy, yet so delicious. Like,
Yeah.
Well, at least
in isolation, I
it's
like
the perfect animal, man. It's got it all.
I like the individual
Magical
statements.
animal.
So sad, so sexy, so delicious. That could be like a Tinder profile. But outside of that, it's a little odd.
Well, at least Homer was all talk. It is heavily implied that Cletus did the old, what do you call, episode 1 of Black Mirror.
Is that what we're calling it? I mean, fair.
At least it's not out and out saying pig fucking.
Yep.
He fucked the shark.
The beast with two backs and a pig.
You know a show's really gone off the rails when they fuck the shark.
The beast with 2 baby back ribs.
Hey, this guy.
Was this a particularly emotional episode of The Simpsons?
No, and I did notice that point at the start where they were like trying to play for emotion points. They were like, for your Oscar viewing nomination consideration. And Marge is like, oh, honey, I understand that you have feelings. And Lisa's like, yes, my feelings are understandable. What the fuck is with their voice, man?
Flawless Lisa, if there ever was one. No, I think that was hard at the beginning with Lisa's disappointment and Homer just not doing a bad job because he does literally go to get the diary. He just gets distracted and finds something else. He's like, oh, this will
She never knows just how hard he had it, you know?
He did genuinely try. Admittedly, he didn't follow through. But
He had it in his hand.
Like, yeah, but the amazing coincidence of Homer doing another fucking multi-food sampling thing.
Yep.
But this one took only like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's how it's done, Nola episode.
And you still got the idea that it was a long enough stretch of time that he'd, be late to the toy store or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Nola episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, all my failings in life from now on, I'll be like, point to it and say, well, at least I did better than that Nola episode.
Yeah.
Have you
At
seen
least
that
I'm
shit?
no Christopher Nolan.
Who's that?
He does Batman Goes to Hollywood.
Oh, Nolan.
Let's see how you dig your way out of this one.
Nolan, right? Okay,
Yeah.
That's not bad.
On the plus side, Elliot didn't get it at all. So
I know, right?
No, but
who's really the idiot?
that is a potential bit. Christopher Nolan's like, if you do like Interstellar in the Bayou,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. You could do something with that. Yeah, it's back on you.
Yeah.
He's past the idiot buck back.
The Dark Beignet rises. You know, donut.
Oh, I regret everything.
Yeah. What's it called? Whenever all the soldiers pissed off from that bay.
Memento Boy.
No. Not bad.
Not
for Pro Boy.
bad.
Yeah. I didn't think you'd get anything
Inception.
from that. No, the one after that, the World War II, where everyone gets cornered by the Nazis in like 1940.
Dunkirk?
That's the one.
Is it just Dunkirk?
Yeah, just Dunkirk.
Okay.
He's a big fan of like single word.
Shrimp on a bun, Kirk.
There we go. Thanks, man. All right, now we can move on.
Right. So where were we?
Yeah, look, the emotions in this episode were pretty surface level, but I thought it was a good idea, and I don't exactly think they did it bad. It was just a little, I don't know, watered down or something.
Yeah, it got a little bit left by the wayside as we went on.
Like, the moment of the confession didn't really land for me.
Yeah, the
It
big
was-
thing that turns Lisa back around is Homer going, oh, when you were 3, I was sobbing in a closet and you found me. It's like, that's not really remembering anything about her. You're remembering your
Yeah.
own life.
If anything,
So-
that's selfish.
Dude, I think that like him doing lots of research because he wants to love his daughter
Yeah.
is a good thing. Like he suddenly wants to find out lots of stuff about his daughter. That's
Yeah.
not
The intent is there, the effort is not, and he didn't pay the guy. I do like the line of, you should have paid me, Simpson. Oh, in
Yeah,
retrospect,
yeah.
yes.
absolutely.
But that's it, because Homer didn't realize that this wasn't the method to find out things about her. That, you know,
Yeah.
it was
Spending
the
time with her as well.
Yeah.
He was trying to do the right thing.
You know what? Think of the episode where Bart builds a soapbox derby racer, and at the beginning, Homer fails every single question on that fathership exam, and at the end, he passes it because he's spent time with his son,
Yeah.
he's learned things. So there, because he knows things about Lisa, he's more confident to spend time with her, and then he learns new things, and that's, they all drink lemonade, the end.
Oh, he catches a Cannonball Man. Just
Oh,
like when
yeah.
he was in a Cannonball Man catcher.
Yeah, according to that vet, he should have died after Giuseppe went into his
To
stomach.
be entirely fair, that guy says if you take another cannonball to the stomach, you will die.
It's
Not
true.
old man.
Yeah, actually, yeah,
Old men way less.
yeah, especially that Giuseppe dude.
Yeah, he's a very skinny dude.
Poor guy. I hope he's all right.
I do like the line of, hey, that fixed my neck. Oh, wait, no, it's worse than ever.
Poor guy. But did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons? Are these the characters we all know and love?
A wacky one for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was just about to say, I think Homer's actually on the golden retriever side here.
Yeah.
And, you know, like a golden retriever, gets distracted with snacks and gets off tasks and whatever.
Yeah, and he does care. He just doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I appreciate that.
I don't know how I feel about Lisa, you know?
Yeah?
Usually she's smart enough to see what the intent is there, you know? She's always I don't know. It feels like she wouldn't. Maybe it's just me.
I think because it was a birthday, it sort of allowed it to be driven home a bit more. Like, because especially, like, it's not like he forgot a gift outright. It's just that
He went to so much effort.
he just didn't pass the Mad Libs test.
Yeah.
My favorite snack is McNuggets.
No, he did fall asleep during the thing.
Oh.
Also true.
I didn't like that because I thought they already did like an extended recording joke with the drooling.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
thought doing the sleep was like a hat on a hat sort of thing.
Hat on a hat. Why would anyone do that? Huh.
Wear one hat.
But did he ever find out Lisa's preferred cigar size? Was it Romani? Was it?
Robusto?
I can't remember words.
Romani.
I don't know. I wrote it down wrong, and I think I said romaine, and like, no, that's lettuce. But is that her favorite lettuce?
But interesting, iceberg is a type of cigar.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
The other thing about this video that I don't think was stated about is, of course, as well, Lisa wouldn't like it because of how ridiculously unwoke it is.
Yeah. Yeah, with a lot of references to Indians instead of Native Americans, or what's the First Americans, I think is the new term. Not entirely sure.
Oh, there was that bit about he doesn't like Indian food.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Whoa.
Well, he's eating pants, and he's like, better than Indian food.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's unwoke or just weird.
Dude, it was just like so out of place and ugly, you know?
Yeah.
It sucks as well because it's like, I think that was a good joke that he's doing this, big montage to like surf rocky music of eating all the samples, and you see the dad, you're eating slacks.
Yes.
That's great.
That's fine.
Cut the joke. Why shit on Indian food?
Why shit on Indian food?
But chicken, those lamb kebabby things, delicious.
Anyway, there's no need to call out anything particularly there.
Yep.
That was a perfectly fine joke to cut.
Yeah, I totally. There's extra beat jokes littered throughout this episode, which is really bringing it down for me. But yes or no, would you watch this episode again?
Yeah, I mean, laundry episode if it's on, that kind of deal. Hangover.
I don't think I would, man. Like, I think by tomorrow morning, I'm going to have a lot of trouble remembering any details about this one.
That means it's fresh yet again, and that may have something to do with the liquor.
But also, New Orleans' stank is getting right all over their site.
Yeah, ordinarily watching an episode after watching a really bad one, it elevates it. This one, I feel, got caught in its undertow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the New Orleans one, I'm going to tell my grandchildren about, you know?
Papa, please stop telling us this story.
This story makes no sense, and it doesn't have...
We'll just get angry. Please stop, Papa.
It's totally inconsistent. We get it.
I love those kids so much.
Why does Bart get his eyes whited out? That doesn't make sense.
Oh, dude.
Oh, little Ernie and Bert.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, I'm going to have twins. They're going to be called Ernie and Bert. Or Bernie and Ert. Even better. Take two. Use take two.
Yeah, I'd watch it again. And playlist. Would this go in playlists?
Birthdays.
Mm.
So you know where Bart gets the radio thingy and ends up down a well.
Yep.
Or Lisa, it's your birthday, happy birthday. Wait, we don't reference that one anymore, do we?
Oh, they were getting ahead of the whole Michael Jackson thing. It's like, what? This was Lisa's only birthday. Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
She never
Find
had
another episode with a birthday, don't we? Dare you? Bye.
There was no catchy song. Shut up.
Now, this one might be a cross-series playlist, but Showdowns in Houses of Mirrors?
Oh yes. Enter the Dragon.
Absolutely.
About 40,000 others. I concur. That's
everything in the 70s.
And I do really like Homer's confidence. Ha ha, you can't shoot us all. Bang, gets him straight away.
Yes.
Excellent bit. There will be a playlist connection with the next episode, is why I picked up, but we'll cover that later.
Enter the Dragon.
Oh, one where Homer eats like 15 different foods in a row.
Yep. Binging on samples. Same with the one where they go to Japan because they're saving everything.
Oh, right. Oh, and the candy convention.
Yes.
Ooh, exquisite. You do well.
Trying sushi.
Oh, yep. Fugumi, yeah.
That was a sad episode, man.
It is.
But then I was really happy, you know, the relief of it all.
And it proves Homer is a god because he should have died and he just didn't.
I mean, Hibbert handed in the pamphlet as well.
So you're going to die. And he just didn't.
BT, what would you change about this episode?
I'd make it better.
Cool
advice.
No, I felt like the wackiness started to get out of hand. Yeah, I just kind of enjoyed the jokes a little bit less and less each time. It's not that it's bad, it's just I found myself being like, but why should I laugh at you? And again, maybe it's the undertow suck of the previous episode that's really bringing me down mentally. But it just wasn't as engaged.
Yeah, I don't have any fundamental problems with the story or anything. It just feels third, fourth drafty. And like, I think this episode really makes all those classic Simpsons feel 40th drafty, you know?
Yeah.
It's a wash, man.
Yeah, there's just so many extra beat jokes that need to be cut, and I love the central premise of the story. And
also, now that I think about it,
what is the central premise as you love it?
Well, the central premise is, okay, the investigator, sure, but then Homer doesn't pay him.
Yep.
So sue Homer. Why do you then frame his daughter? How is that going to get you paid, investigator guy?
Yeah, and then he goes to kill him as well, which is just like, you really don't know what the consequence was meant to be.
He is bad at his job.
Yeah. Because, that's what I like. I like Homer hires private investigator to find out more about Lisa so to appear he cares about her.
Yeah, but then it just derails so heavily.
The obvious sort of step there, I like that the PI who suddenly knows all about Lisa uses this information to his advantage, but is supposed to use it to make Homer look bad about Lisa. He should be framing Homer in a Lisa-related thing, not framing Lisa in a Peter-related thing.
He's just got to be all... Yeah. You know, Homer's going to be, I'm not going to pay you. He's like, okay, then, I'll tell your daughter you paid me to follow you around.
For real, man.
Yeah, it's like the writers were like, really congratulating themselves for dropping the seeds because, they go to the protest, which then
so clever.
Ends up playing a part later. But like you said, it doesn't really make sense. So is that what you changed, Danny?
That's the big thing. It doesn't add up. I'm not really happy with the first half. not the detective stuff. Like, I quite like the detective game stuff, but I feel it wasn't warranted. The whole birthday thing is a weak premise to wrap it around, you know? The diary and the ads and the running bit of him being electrocuted. Fuck it all off. Let's have a gritty noir.
Okay, so open 1957, L.A. It's all in black and white, and some mobsters are chasing down a young woman through the streets. She's panicked, but she knows something she shouldn't.
You just want to watch a hearted detective movie, don't you?
I always do. I have never not wanted to.
And playing Dexter Colt was just Hank Azaria.
It wasn't Liam Neeson.
No, but he based his performance on Robert Stack, and yeah, Elliot Gould was playing himself as well.
Good for him.
And that concludes the guest stars of this episode. So, final notes time. BT, what you got?
I got a bunch as always.
Oh, of course.
So I do actually quite like the Turbo Diary ad where it's like the bully grabs her diary and it's like, I have a crush on Kenny. That's me. You would like me, loser.
Yeah.
And the girl's like, Turbo Diary, I love you. And then Lisa runs in with the ad. She's like, Mom, Dad, I want a Turbo Diary. Homer's like, honey, no one likes a shill.
Dude, that felt so good.
I also love Girl Tech, a division of Boy Tech.
Yep.
I do like Lisa's line of, Dad, I'm a vegetarian. Still?
Yeah.
Well, then you're not going to like your other present. Just a distinctly racked chicken.
Perfect. I love that joke.
The noir detective is in underneath a buzzing sign that just says neon signs.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yep.
And of course with the E out, so non-signs.
Mm-hmm. And little personal injury here is once upon a time, you and I, Elliot Jay O'Neill, went to a Simpsons trivia quiz and we got 100% except for one, and the only one we missed was what was Homer's email address.
Oh, that's right.
ChunkyLover53 at AOL.com.
ChunkyLover53.
What were you trying to interrupt with?
Nothing important.
BeachBaby69_.
All right.
Nothing important.
His cyberpunk character.
That character was important.
Mm-hmm.
It ruined our stealth mission into the office.
And it was really funny.
And effective. Surprisingly effective.
Gets the job done, man. He gets the job done.
The distraction was excellent. I do also like another good sign gag, which was bridge out, and Homer drives through it, and Chief Wiggum's like, the bridge is out. And then the tree moves, it's like, bridge outstanding by Overpass Monthly.
Oh,
yeah.
Put this in the playlist of the X-Files Diet.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Man, I would subscribe the fuck out of Overpass Monthly.
So fascinating. And that is all my notes.
Maybe I should hook you up with a subscription and help you bridge that gap.
I mean...
Now it's time for
to
his final
bridge that gap.
notes.
Oh, yeah, I keep it...
Elliot's final notes.
No, I wanted to change it to everyone's final notes. Do you have any final notes, Danny's?
I'm good.
Yeah, but reading Lisa's diary, wow, I really come off like a jerk in this thing.
Oh,
like
snap. You got me. Yeah.
And Flanders' movie, his version of the Mad Libs thing with... And yeah, you pointed out, he's wearing a Roger Ramjet suit.
Yeah, that was kind of strange.
And his name is Rod.
Oh.
There's a joke there. But yeah, his hobbies, unlike Lisa's hobbies of McNuggets or whatever, quiet, clapping, and diabetes.
Yep.
Those are my hobbies until the 12th grade.
You are the one of us in the room that does not have diabetes.
Well, it's not the 12th grade.
210.
He only has it as a hobby. For me and you, it's a lifestyle, but...
Yeah, Homer really shoves Maggie.
He really... she thuds the ground.
That's Lisa's best friend.
I disagree. He nudges her forward. She takes her usual couple of steps, then falls on her own.
Dude, but she clonks. She doesn't usually clonk like that.
She clonks.
I
Must
really
be
didn't
her
like
bit.
the joke of Homer chopping up Bart's skateboard with an axe for the insurance money.
Really strange.
Oh, and Homer's email as well, right. So Matt Selman, the writer of this episode, secured that domain. And then, yeah, of course, the night after the episode airs, he opens it up. Wonder if anyone messaged it. Yeah. Max mailbox allowance reached. And so, yeah, he apparently replied to a few of them with, Simpsons quotes and pretending to be Homer and stuff. And saying, dear nerd. I didn't even know the internet had computers on it now, or whatever he says. I love the reasonable requests of the protesters. Gradual phase out over 3 years.
Yeah, that was
When do we want it?
Over the next 3 years.
The private investigator's itemizing of his...
Yeah. I wrote this down as well.
Well, if I ate the whole thing, then it would have been free.
Silver bullets. I was originally operating under the idea your daughter was a werewolf. It didn't pan out.
So there are great jokes in this episode. And Ralph trying to be a cop as well.
Yeah.
just Ralph being interrogated by the detective.
Oh, yeah. Lisa's a kid at my school. This is a tough nut to crack. Yeah. Homer's pseudonym of Lance Uppercut. That's a very good name.
That was my grandfather's name.
Lance Uppercut.
That's
of the New Jersey
grandpa-
Uppercuts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my final note is the great visual joke of the cigarette butts in the banana peel.
Yep.
Yes, visually beautiful. Not like literally beautiful. The opposite, I guess.
Taste-wise, disgusting.
I found it a...
Peeling.
It's time to rank this thing.
I had to stub out that joke early.
Like a banana full of cigarette butts.
Ba-boom. Yeah, that was my plan.
What are you ranking it, BT?
I'm going to go with a bronze. There's some jokes here I quite like. I don't like where the story goes, but I have a good enough time on the journey. And maybe it's the liquor in my blood or the liquor in my brain, but I had a good enough time to give it, above a participant. I had a good enough time, just not a great time.
Mr. Rosewell?
Look, I would almost fail it. I think I'm going to give it a participant, but
That's fair.
really I could fail it because I'm not happy with it. It's one that I think needs a lot of work to get to an acceptable standard. We've just come straight from the episode before, which was just like, wow, man, like, whoa, hey, boom, boom, wow.
I was like, boom, boom, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freaky deaky.
So, like, this one is by no means a perfect episode. And I think if we set out to chop it into bits and improve it, there's a lot to work with. But it takes a lot of work, and you'd have a very different episode by the time you were happy with it. You or being anyone. You being the audience. So, like, participant is generous, but I know that's going to sort of wash over me, By the time we watch one more episode, I'm barely going to remember this one.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it just edges over to being bronze. I guess it's like bronze story, bronze jokes, but like participant execution. I think it's fairly on par with most of season 14 as well. Like, yeah, it's okay. It's bronze.
It's teensy.
Yep. And it'll be the second episode from season 14 to be called a dull bronze. It'll be joining Large Marge, which is an episode I regret giving a bronze. I wonder if I'll say the same for this episode in the future.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
But first, Elliot, what will we see? First, before we see Large Marge, Large and in charge, and Elliot charging Marge.
Well, if you want to watch that in the future, that's your business. But for now, we have to watch an episode from the classic era. And fuck me, foot. This is a classic era episode if ever I saw one.
Oh, man. Season 31, episode 3. Fuck me, foot.
Irish proverb.
Oh, fuck me, foot. All right, not here to question your culture, man. What's the episode?
It's actually an Irish... it begins with a St. Patrick's Day special. It's Homer versus the 18th Amendment.
Ooh, my gosh!
It's an amendment to be.
Yes,
It's an amendment to be. And I'm hoping that they'll ratify me. That might actually be a different episode now.
It is.
It is. Well, go find out what this episode is. We'll be back. And we are back, and we just watched our classic and final episode for the evening. This was Season 8, Episode 18, Homer vs. the 18th Amendment. First released in March of 1997, it was directed by Bob Anderson, written by...
John
Swartzwelder! Fuck you, dude. In this episode, it's the Beer Baron and goddamn Rex Banner and other things. What'd you think?
Dude, it's
Man,
a classic, isn't it?
It was a little slower to get started than I thought. And I'm like, the beginning when we got St. Patrick's Day and the parade and all that, I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, but as soon as Rex Banner comes on, boom, and it's just off with a shot. And when we even reached a certain point where I knew how much was still to come from quotes, and I was like, there's been so many great things already, and it feels like it's been going on for an hour in a good way, because there's so much episode in this episode.
Yeah, it's packed. It is dense.
What I think is a very quintessentially Schwartzwelderian joke moment of Homer walking out with a wheelbarrow full of bowling balls, like, oh wait, we got to better check the coast is clear. Yeah, it's probably clear. And then walks like 2 frames, then Marge there, which he can clearly see, but he just kind of plays with that frame, and that's where the joke comes from. It's a great Schwartzweldian misdirect moment, and it's fantastic.
Oh, the characters are undermined at so many turns in this episode. It's wonderful. Like Chief Wiggum trying to hold up Homer, and it is like, you don't have a trigger on the gun. Yeah, and I had to sell most of the handle to feed my family. Poor Wiggum.
Such a sad moment that's hilarious.
Poor Wiggum.
It's not I had to sell the trigger and most of the handle. It's I had to sell the trigger and most of the handle to feed my family.
Oh,
yeah,
Ralphie.
Poor
and
Wiggum.
so funny.
Look, the big I guess the big thing for Uncle Daniel. Oh, that's creepy. I think the big thing is when he's like, and another thing about prohibition, the law is the law. And Wiggum's like, send them home to mama, boys. Ka-chunk!
What I love about all that. Oh, sorry, continue.
And they just fire him off to his death. And he had just, shot a cat into outer space. Just like, whole town watching. He's just like, we're going to kill this little fucking cat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, cats always land on their feet, so
Even if launched that far and that quickly.
cat in a catapult.
But no, what I like about that bit is the catapult is set up right in the beginning when they discuss the law, and it's like, anyone who disobeys this law shall be punished by catapults. But by the end, you've kind of forgotten about that.
Totally
so it gets to
forgotten.
both be a surprise, but something they have already mentioned.
Well, because Homer's owning his own arrest here as well, so you think, oh, he's cool with it. He's going to be okay. Oh, the catapult. And the old guy didn't go, just a reminder of what we said earlier in the episode. Remember how we set this up?
Oh my
Yeah.
We
God.
totally said it.
Oh my
You-
God. Oh.
Chekhov's catapult.
Give me 5 minutes with the writers of that episode, I swear to God.
But also, this is kind of a, like, looky here ending. Like, it's not even to the effort of blowing the dust off it or something, or here's another book. It's just, oh, there's more words on
I've
this
discovered
page.
more lines on the
Yes.
parchment. You even get Quimby going, wow, that was unexpected, when they launch Rex Banner.
There were more lines on this same page. It's like Futurama in its, like, absurdity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's so much absurd and dumbness. But before we get to the wackiness, have you ever seen this episode before?
My gosh, yes.
Oh, once or twice, or thrice, or twice, or... Yeah, I've seen it before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of harmonizing with this episode a little bit. Like,
A number of pre-quotes I have to write down, so I would have time to write down the next quote.
yeah.
Crazy.
Ah, there.
Bah.
Wackiness. Was this a particularly wacky episode of The Simpsons?
I mean, hells yeah, but also in such a delightful way, like Moe's pet shop. And then just the classic pulling the lever and all the gears kind of fold back, and everyone just hides the beer behind their back.
They still cheers.
Eddie and Lou totally were in viewing of
Oh, yeah,
the
for sure.
cheers.
Of course they were. The Warner Brothers-y, like, system of pipes underneath the town somehow.
Yeah, to that sort of almost powerhouse. Do.
Yeah.
I have one question for you. What kind of pet store has rambunctious yahoos and hot jazz at 1 a.m.?
The best kind. Homer answering the beer baron on the cliff.
You won't.
Yes, I will.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just how obvious Homer makes himself as well, walking by Rex Banner with a red fucking
It's called a radio flyer, that particular type of little red wagon.
red wagon.
Full of, mash, grain, and like tequila worms.
Yeah.
Yeah, tequila worms.
It's just like,
Barley, okay, sour mash,
Just-
tequila was.
and he just says hello to him, and he's wearing a rambunctious new hat that says, "Hey, Rex Banner, I've got a new hat."
New hat playlist.
Dude, his basement is like 37 hospital beds wide.
It grew.
It's so big, bro. Holy shit, man. Like,
Where the house is basically a TARDIS of endlessly unfolding rooms.
dude, it's crazy, man. Like, it's upsetting me. I haven't even got a basement. I'm sorry. I'm lashing out, and
You're missing out. They're pretty good.
I did see they still did have the giant carved wooden head that Burns gave him.
Estopalopakettle.
If you say his name 3 times, he appears in your podcast.
He's going to speak ancient Aztec, though. That's
And
gonna be
take up a
awkward.
lot of room.
Yeah, we'll all be crushed horribly.
No one can say his name 3 times fast anyway.
I'm not going to try.
Stop daring me. Off mic.
Any other wackiness? I suppose the St. Patrick's Day parade thing at the start,
Yeah.
which, gotta say, wasn't my favorite bit of the episode.
pretty offensive, dude. They had a bombing.
Yeah.
That was a little weird, because for a lot of it you could say, okay, this isn't necessarily meant to be interpretive of Irish heritage. This is just what people do on St. Patrick's Day with the excuse of, it's Ireland, whatever.
Yeah,
But,
it's about Americans being drunk, not Irish.
Yeah, but then when you start blowing up British banks, it's like, this feels very specifically aimed at Ireland.
Yeah, this episode was censored in the UK because of that.
Well, no shit. That's a sore point for sure.
Yeah. It's just, weird that they do that joke, but then they
Fucking weird.
also made a conscious effort to not show Bart directly drinking beer. He had to drink it via Vuvuzela.
Which didn't even have a name back then.
It's just that loud fucking annoying horn thing. Now they're banned at most places. Thank
Right.
fuck.
I'm just leaving space for you to like play the sound effect of one.
Hell no.
I
So,
know you
like,
won't. But yeah.
So there was like a leprechaun float. There was like a rainbow pot of gold float.
There
Then
was
there
your
was
classic
like
Irish cop of nothing to see here. Toy, toy, toy.
cop. There was a cop saying toy to toy.
Yep.
Then there was like a bunch of Irish beating their wife drunks or something.
There were a bunch of like angry Irish writers who got into fights with the crowd. I don't believe there was any wife beating that I recall.
Rioters or
Writers.
Oh, writers.
Writers.
Angry Irish writers.
Also, a float dedicated to the Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch.
That's
Was
great.
there, or are you just showing off?
I'm just showing off. I wanted to
Yeah.
see if I could land it. I did.
Wow.
Why, you Irish wrist watching?
Yeah. Yeah.
But while we are talking about the Irish section and the St. Patrick's Day, I got a little bit of a fashion corner.
Wink.
Everyone's green.
Everyone's green. It actually caught me off guard when I first saw Lisa in green. I was like, oh, she's wearing green. I was like, oh, there's been one of those misprints like in season 1. But seconds later, I was like, oh, Daniel, you goose. It's the thing with the green clothes. Ah, you goose, Daniel. What are you
would
doing?
have gotten pinched. And I do like Lisa's
Yeah.
whenever all the kids see Bart wearing his regular clothes, like, and just rush and start
Yeah.
pinching him. And Lisa's like, hey, no one's pinching his legs.
Yeah. Were either of yous ever the guy that forgot to... Did you ever fucking uniform it on Mufti Day?
No.
I'm pretty sure I only uniformed it on Mufti Day.
Oh.
I
You're
sat
a
all
forgetful
alone
boy.
in the corner.
Yeah, even I made fun of you then.
Yeah.
Well,
I had to
he wasn't
stand
in his uniform.
outside all alone with my football, looking in the windows at the other kids practicing piano.
Wow, double cross reference, all right.
But even the characters who are prominently green, like Marge and Lenny. Lenny had green suspenders. Marge greened up her hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved all the green fashion in this.
Mm-hmm. Wink.
Yeah.
But let's also appreciate Marge's love of watching parades, all the joy, excitement, and looking.
Yes. Yes. She's filled with so many emotions. Joy, excitement, and looking. Oh, fuck. That was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the detail of, oh, Bart, you're just going to throw it out on the car window on the ride home. And
I
he-
get bored of them so easily, but not this time. Yeah.
like, again, the visual imagery conjured up by that.
It's perfect. It's every kid at the Easter show,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And as we pointed out in the episode, like, Apu's then like, come on, everybody, let's get naked. And they're like, yeah, it's just getting started. And that's all good.
Yeah.
But then Mrs. Glick is like, oh, that boy is drunk.
Mrs. Glick was so down for the orgy until that boy.
Oh, yeah.
and I
is
think that
good.
was Mrs. Glick.
I know, it was random old woman. But do you have
Yeah.
a name for her? No.
But did you want to mention when you saw Mrs. Glick later in the episode?
Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't want to mention that. That was one of those little tricks of the camera, you know? Smoke and mirrors of film and photography.
Yep.
Chiaroscuro, they call it. The art of light and shadow.
He thought the back of Mrs. Glick was like a bag of purple potatoes or something.
To be fair, I could get that. That's a weird ink blot test, but it passes.
Teletubby. It looked like a Teletubby with little antenna horns coming out of his head. You know what? This is a silly conversation. Let's move on.
All right. How about the heart of this episode? Did you guys feel the bumps?
This isn't like a hard one. It's, wacky hijinks, but grounded in the reality of wanting to drink.
Yes. There was like Homer enjoying being the town hero.
Yeah,
you know?
I think Marge sums it up as like, you've had the thrill of being a criminal and all this kind of bootlegger and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to pack in. I like that Homer does listen to her, only after an alcohol explosion sets him on fire, but still.
Boom.
That whole bit. Homer, it must have been that bean I ate.
Yeah.
Homer, don't pretend you're making those sounds, and then just the dissatisfied boom.
Boom.
Oh, God, that's the funniest thing.
I've considered your proposal. Man.
Kablamo! Oh, excuse me again, dear.
Being singular.
That bean.
Oh, God, that's good.
Yeah, there's so much plot in this episode. I forget that, by the time he's making his own hooch, that's all of like 3 scenes.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was like sitting there watching it and like, we're not even out of beer. We haven't even gone to making his own beer yet.
Yeah.
Holy crap. So much episode in this episode.
And bathtub mint juleps. You know what? I fucking love a good mint
Oh,
julep,
yeah, it's
actually.
very refreshing.
Oh, man. I fucking love a good bathtub.
Very refreshing.
Yeah.
But yeah, one
Full
of
of
them.
mint julep.
And naturally, one of them is labeled 12-year-old scotch.
Okay, that just clicked.
Yep. It's good stuff, man.
So much for the heart of this episode. This is
It's
kinda.
It's not a hearty episode, although my heart did go like bump when
Or Wigan.
No, I was thinking about the cat being fired out of the cannon.
That is distressing.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit of a cruel thing to have the hero of the episode
Launch a cat.
Yeah, launch
but
a
then
cat.
he got his.
Rex Banner's not a hero.
He got his.
Why is he not a hero?
Hey, he got catapulted right after that. He got his catapults. It was terrible.
Catapults.
His comeuppance, but with cat.
Catapultums. Yeah.
There's something there.
Why is Rex Banner not a hero? Sorry.
Is the antagonist. He's enforcing a shitty law and he's doing a bad job at policing and he's also harassing innocent civilians.
It's true.
ACAB.
Was he doing a bad job at policing?
He was randomly grabbing strangers and asking if they were the beer baron. That was not the best police work.
He was searching for information, looking for clues.
By grabbing random citizens and
That's
asking.
called a random spot check.
It's true. Hey, to be fair, he was doing it totally at random.
Yeah.
He wasn't profiling anybody.
Not even slightly.
Not even when he maybe should have with the guy with the wagon full of alcohol ingredients.
Yeah. But he was out there doing the legwork himself, you
That's
know?
true.
He got the police force to shape up a bit, but
Sure did.
But they also clearly saw all that beer and did nothing, so they don't like him. They had no trouble sending him back to mama.
Exactly.
I don't think he was a nice guy, but you know, he was a hero of the.
Go to your room, Lisa.
I do like Marge getting on board and, and look how much money I made. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's rare to see her do that, and I think
Yeah.
it really worked here. And especially because she's not a big booze hound, but she believes in the freedom to drink. That's nice.
Yeah. No, that's it. She'd have more than a half a glass of wine a day. She just can't drink that much.
Yeah.
Jesus, Marge.
To Marge.
To Marge.
Did it feel like an episode of The Simpsons? Are the characters behaving like themselves?
Come on, this is classic Schwartzweldian.
Yes. Yes, it did. Like Homer's magnetic attraction to wacky hijinks is the heart of the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that he gets this job not by falling ass backwards into it, but through his own ingenuity, which is quite impressive, as Marge says.
Bart looking up to him. Bart always finds ways to look up to Homer, even though Homer is such a fucking...
Yeah. See, boy, the real money's in bootlegging, not your petty vandalism.
Yes.
So many Western nights. No, but like nothing love more than a good Homer Bart caper and
For sure.
also their hubris. It's that stupid Rex Banner. Yeah, look at him trying to aim that stupid gun.
Hubris is the right word.
Ah, man. Humorous. Humorous.
Even Marge, like, being a fastidious funicular, but, like, having a soft spot for Homer, even in his illegal capers and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it, danger is sexy. And so is money, and he's got both, baby.
Well, you forgot to mention the essential third thing. A new hat.
You mean a hoat?
You got me.
Oat?
Halt? Didn't you mispronounce hat?
No. I think this is a Mrs. Glick's potatoes thing again.
Didn't you mispronounce hat?
I didn't think so, but
When Bart had that, like, top hat on.
way back in the first episode. Maybe then. I don't remember that.
Wait.
That wasn't this
That
episode.
wasn't this episode?
There's a new hat in this episode. We got confused.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
Okay. We could talk about your hat. We could talk about your hat. Your hat.
But also another unintentional theme. Yeah, hot jazz music.
Hot jazz.
Hot jazz and new hats. What we're all about here at the Simpsons Index.
And rambunctious yahoos and drinking.
Who thinks it's possible to mispronounce hat? Write in with your attempts.
Fence. How'd I go?
Spelled and pronounced differently, but okay.
A duck.
A duck can be a hat.
Read the next one, the non-duck one.
Oh,
law
shit.
require ducks to wear long pants. Especially in that voice, ducks to wear long pants.
Yeah.
Actually, I meant to check this episode to see if there was like a background reference with, ducks wearing pants in it. I don't think there was, though. I forgot. But I forgot to check.
It's illegal to put squirrels down your pants for the purposes of gambling.
What about squirrels down my pants?
Oh, and like the police officer, there's also the episode where that duck's got a badge in his mouth.
I did love it. Duck in that shirt. Shine those shoes. Take that badge out of your mouth.
There's something
Rules of threes.
There's something Futurama-y again about having like an old guy with a long scroll full of laws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just absurdist enough in... Like, Futurama's got that thing where they're absurdist, but you know it's to the point of getting the joke out, you know?
Because it's a character archetype. It's just... It
He
doesn't...
even looks like Farnsworth.
Yeah, true. With that, wrinkly, pointy head. But yeah, it's a character archetype. It's just not one we've seen in The Simpsons. And it's like, why is this here? Why does this episode all of a sudden have a fucking 50s feel? Like,
for real, man.
Or
because
40s.
it's Prohibition.
When was Prohibition?
1920 to 1933.
Yeah, especially with Prohibition. Fuck. I can't wait, Shag, until Ernie and Bert, your grandkids, are talking about,
Or Bernie and Ert.
Of course. They're talking about, back when ecstasy was prohibited and marijuana.
Papa, what terrible times with these, Papa.
And
Pass the Eckies, please.
Yeah.
More pingers, friend.
Buy them in Skittles bags.
Do you want the spoon? No, I'm shelving mine.
Now, you've got to finish your dinner before you can shelve your pingers.
What's wrong with my Sundays?
Not enough pingers. Legalized drugs, ACAB. Would you watch this episode again?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, of course I would.
Playlist. What playlist is going?
New Hat.
New Hat
Hot
playlist.
Jazz.
Yep. Jazzy episodes. Definitely get some of that Bleeding Gums Murphy, and also, New Hat. So Tom Landry's hat from You Only Move Twice, and Malibu Stacey's new hat.
Yep, and Abe Simpson's new hat.
Oh,
Abe Simpson's
Old
hat.
man, and where he gets all the money.
Oh, and when Homer gets that hat that the Texan wore on the day Kennedy was shot, and it always brings good luck.
Mhm.
Yes.
References to Nighthawks, because I'm sure we've done this before, and
In that same episode where Abe gets the fez.
Yeah, there you go. By Edward Hooper, who I wanted to call out because someone said Edward Hooper is the perfect artist for social distancing because all his characters are really far apart from each other.
Wow.
Yeah, nicely done.
Oh.
Check him
A
out.
visionary.
I'd say like 20Z Casablanca sort of references.
Yeah.
Those are good episodes.
Yeah, actually characters based on Robert Stack.
Yes.
And our guest... so did you guys get that impression that from the last episode that was a bad Rex Banner?
Yep.
What
Yeah,
did they call
nowhere
him?
near as much fun.
Dexter Colt.
Mm-hmm.
But someone called him Seamus.
Yeah, it's a reference to the term brother Seamus. Early detectives were often Irish, and for some reason, it was just the slang term for like Flatfoot. It was just a term for a detective.
Yeah, I don't know how this
Brother
confused
Seamus.
you because it was Nelson, and he was
Seamus?
saying it in an insulting way.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know how that perplexed you.
I'm still perplexed. I'll have to do some more reading about that.
Where the term came from, I'm not entirely certain, but it was just an old nickname for your gumshoes, your
Really?
hard case
Seamus.
detectives. Yep.
Wow.
BT, what would you change?
Oh my gosh, just that beginning.
Yeah.
I was all prepared to say nothing. It was just, even the slight tone deafness of all the Irish stereotypes. I think we're all a little, but just you can tighten those screws a tiny bit. But yeah, like I said, as soon as we get to Rex Banner, it just takes off, and from there on, it is a flawless episode.
How about you, Shag? What would you like to change?
That's sort of my same idea. Like, I'm happy with the direction it's going in. They need to find a reason to ban alcohol. First off, it didn't need to be St. Patrick's Day. Didn't need to be Irish. Like, the first thing was, how many Irish stereotypes can we make fun of in a row? We didn't need all of that. We needed a reason for them to get rid of drinking. I think something like, the one where they baseball, where they get really drunk, drive around the baseball pitch at school.
Yeah. We know all your secrets.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many better ways for a town to suddenly get upset at alcoholics.
Yeah, what I like about the parade, though, is that it's got Kent Brockman narrating and getting frustrated, like as his booth at the parade gets overtaken by drunks and Boston people having fights and stuff. And then they do this clever thing where they show like live footage of the parade at Moe's, zoom in on that TV with Bart doing the "what are you looking at?" And then that turns into a replay of like last night's news with Kent Brockman reinstating his anger. I agree that the Irish stuff didn't need to be there, but I think that idea of having a parade that Kent Brockman can do that transition is totally worth it.
Yeah, it all implies the transition of time and the consequences thereof.
Did you have any other things you'd like to change? Kind of just walked all over your point there, sorry.
Ooh. Look, I see what you're saying. Like, I feel like that bit was clever directing or clever cameramanship, but what I would change is in the third act. So Rex steps on the catapult. Rex is fired out into outer space. Wiggum is back in business. Wiggum suddenly pulls off the hat, puts and his face comes with it, his rubber face, and underneath Lisa Simpson, she goes, "Ha! Caught you all!" Everyone's like, "What?" Okay, and then
Your ideas are improving this episode immensely. Get Swartzwelder on the phone.
all right. Sorry. I take that back.
Oh.
Moe's pet shop gets arrested for product testing makeup on the pigs, teaching the monkeys to smoke cigarettes.
5 at a time.
5 at a time. One for every orifice.
So the guest star of this episode was Dave Thomas playing Rex Banner. You probably don't know him by name because...
Yeah, used to front Matchbox 20.
Good pull.
Yeah.
No, he was one of the big players on SCTV. Him and Rick Moranis did the sketch team of Bob and Doug, which came from SCTV, a Canadian sketch show, and they were like doing a bunch of Canadian stereotypes of like form of tour guides and reporters and stuff, that sort of shtick. But yeah, he's been on fucking everything, and yeah, he was really good in this. Also doing a Robert Stack impression. It's just so weird that The Simpsons returned to this well again.
Yeah.
But, like, didn't have it be Rex Banner. Just, oh, this is a character with his exact traits and mannerisms, but we couldn't get Dave back. And the other guest star of this episode was Joe Mantegna returning as Fat Tony.
Yeah, nice.
They still have Fat Tony without Joe Mantegna, don't they?
No, he's been voicing it for ages, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, except now the character is actually Fit Tony, who because they killed Fat Tony, so his cousin Fit Tony came to town. But then Fit Tony put on a bunch of weight from the stress of running the mafia, so they just decided to keep calling him Fat Tony.
Ban it all down.
So technically, they changed character, but they didn't change actor.
Wow. That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
I missed 10 seconds ago and I didn't know that.
Dude. How do you sit through this day after day?
173 episodes. Woo! We are almost time ready to rank this thing, but first I must ask BT, do you have any other notes about this episode before we rank this thing?
Oh my gosh, I have a shit ton. Are we ready for all of them? Unless other people want to go first, and I'll tick mine off as you go.
Do you have any other notes, Shag?
They'll come to me when they come to me.
All right, maybe me and you, Beach, we'll just go note for note.
Yeah, okay, cool. My first one is Homer's like, Prohibition. They tried that in the movies and it didn't work. Elliot?
Won't somebody please think of the children playlist?
Yeah, and during the protest, they have a sign that says draft men, not beer.
Yes.
Yeah, what the fuck was with that?
Yeah.
I think, isn't that speaking on sort of some of those values? It's like, ban alcohol, ban drugs, but it was good.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, for real.
Chief Wiggin goes, please. Most of the founding fathers were either drunk or on cocaine.
It was presidents, astronauts, and Major League Baseball.
Oh, right.
When it was
Major League Baseball.
Something like that. I didn't quite catch it, but it was a brilliant moment. They have introduced Duff Zero, which goes bankrupt in 30 minutes.
The way this episode plays with time like that, like, yeah, how long will it take to flood the streets with alcohol again? Give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes later. And yeah, even Mo going, yeah, that was a scary couple of hours. Previously fainting over the news that prohibition is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Bernice as well fainted.
Did you see this, Bernice?
Poor Bernice.
Chief Wiggum was drunkenly dancing with returning Princess Kashmir.
That's great. There was an amazing shot of her undercarriage.
I thought undercarriage was when you have a tummy like mine.
It's a special spot on it's different on everyone.
Okay, I just thought it was the taint, but all right.
You see? It's different on
Quimby's
everyone.
all
It's like the whole, what does first, second, third base thing mean? Everyone's got a different definition of it.
That's right.
Mm.
They're the first 3 levels of Wolfenstein.
Tough. Quimby's all like, you low-income nobodies, get out of office. Election in November. Again. Damn this country.
Shag, I did not see that joke coming.
I didn't either. I had to hold my laughs in. Sorry, Beach.
It's fun.
Oh, what are you looking for? A kiss goodbye? Well, no, I guess not.
Even before there, where he's sitting in the chair watching TV, Rex Banner comes in, knocks the TV down, kicks me out of the chair. Hey, I was watching that and sitting there. Poor Wiggum.
Oh, fuck.
All while his deputy has a badge in his mouth. Why?
Because it's funny.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Well, how do you know you don't like bribes if you've never taken one? Hey, this is pretty nice.
This is pretty nice.
How about some turpentine or cock? delicious cock. It's just like, was John Swartzwelder in his garage writing that? I was like,
Yes.
Pretty much. Can I arrest any of you for anything?
door-to-door fucking cop work.
Yep.
Just like America.
Poor Wiggum.
Poor Wiggum.
Poor Wiggum.
Rex Banner's methods of stopping the flow of booze with just building a wall in the middle of the road.
Yes.
Having a fucking cop's Tommy gun the beer barrels.
Oh, that was a beautiful shot, though. It was so Dick Tracy.
Yeah, more Tommy guns, I say.
Yeah.
It's like when Homer's all just, think of a plan, boy, and Bart's just standing on his head like, I'm trying.
Oh, yeah. Because, like, Homer was like, oh, I'll think of something. Fade
Maybe
out.
I do, Chief.
Maybe I do. Yeah.
If not back, avenge death. Classic.
Yep, and I do like how it gets more and more casual. Going out, if not back, avenge death.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to be able to go down there.
Another 2 weeks and he'll have a little sign on his desk.
Yeah.
Not back, avenge death.
Yep. Ooh, I like it. Instead of, open or close, it's open and if not back, avenge death. When they're loading up all the beer into the car, it's like, okay, Bart, don't mention this to anyone. Not to your mother, not Rex Banner, anyone.
I love that because I felt like it was going to be a rule of threes, but it like got undercut with a 2.
Yeah.
It's like, here's the 2 people off the top of the head.
Who else is he going to tell?
yeah.
What's going to matter?
That's it. It's like, who matters to the audience in this episode?
Yeah.
Yep.
Chief, you barely touched your banana kaboom.
It's the saddest man with the most spectacular ice cream.
And it's not a happy birthday, just random detail aside. Oh, it's also Rex Banner's birthday in amongst all
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Bet he didn't get a Mad Lib videotape.
When they come back after the exciting car chase, Marge's like, what happened? Nothing. The car didn't have broken axles before. Oh, before. You're living in the past. Quit living in the past.
Baby turtles and alligators might seem like a good idea for a pet, but they grow up. Let's go, boys.
Oh.
He is dumb. He is a bad detective.
Yep.
But he has such a good heart.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want none of those throwaway alligators in his sewers.
He knows what happens, man. I'm not going to lie to you, Marge. So long.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yep.
Oh, those liquor clouds over Evergreen Terrace have disappeared.
Oh,
Bad
yeah,
call.
that is pretty dumb.
I do like, but what about the beer baron? I suspect he was an invention of the media. The idea that someone can operate right on my nose is laughable. Well, you know what laughter sounds like.
Again, with an episode that is so packed to the brim, it's amazing that they pull the brakes for this moment.
Yeah. I do know what laughter sounds like. That's it.
And that's the end of my notes.
All right, well, I've got 2 more. Actually, 3 more. One is, you're forgetting something, Chief. I filled the balls with a funnel.
Ooh.
I love funnel jokes.
To alcohol, the cause and solution of all life's problems.
Yeah.
I used to have a 1.5 liter beer mug that said that on it.
My final note is, kettle, let's stop kettle. Damn, I lost it at the end.
I don't think he's going to appear tonight.
Yeah.
It's time to rank this thing, and it's my turn to go first this time.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm giving a cubic zirconia. This is honestly one of my favorite episodes. Rex Banner's one of my favorite one-time characters. I was ragging on him for being stupid, but honestly, this is a thing of fucking line delivery and just execution in writing is phenomenal. Like, the St. Patrick's Day thing is a shame, but because it's all over with so quickly and that I can find a bright spot in it, it doesn't actually bother me that much. True, astounding bit of writing. BT, you're next.
Yeah, cubic zirconia. The worst part of this is still reasonably okay. It's just a bit slow and a bit, but even then, it's over 3 minutes, maybe.
Not
That's
even.
about it. Yeah. So, and then the rest of it is just whoosh, amazing stuff.
Danny, finish her off.
Well, I'm going to give it a gold.
Really?
Yeah. Because cubic zirconia is for those flawless, untouchable things. And
That
this
doesn't
is
mean flawless. It means
it
essential.
really does.
No,
you
it doesn't.
cannot rank it better than a cubic zirconia. That is the best ranking there is for the best of the best.
Yeah, but a 10 out of 10, and any review publication will say this, does not mean flawless, perfect. It just means it's in that masterpiece section.
And
Just to clarify, it doesn't mean perfect, it means essential.
the good parts were good. The great parts were great, but the bad parts were bad. So I'm going to give it a gold.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Look how serious he is. He's being serious.
That's my serious face.
Oh. This will be a dull cubic Really?
Hey, man. Don't try to put your finger on the scales. You're trying to skew the results here.
I know, but this is like when fucking Phil reviewed Homie the Clown, and I'm just like, what more do you want?
Beach.
Yeah?
Beach.
What?
This isn't triple cubic.
I'd say the beginning is a tarnish, but whether or not it's a tarnish
Yeah.
that downs the entire episode,
Well,
it is
that's
the
it.
setup.
It's a tarnish.
Well,
You
it's the setup
if it's
for
got
what's
two
more, though.
cubics
Yeah.
and then a gold, that's the tarnish.
But-
It's not like 3 golds
Yeah,
tarnish.
I appreciate that. I would also argue that it's like saying, hey, the foundations of this amazing house are a bit
1 gold out of 2 diamonds is as little tarnish as an episode can
I
have.
know, it's still a good rank. That's the thing we say.
No, I'm just surprised because, this is an all-timer for so many people. And
Sure, man.
He's going to get yelled at, and it's going to be
I
your
think
fault.
yeah, I
it's
know. I'm bracing for some yellings. All right, well, averaging out, this will be a dull cubic zirconia. It'll be joining other episodes from Season 8. It'll be the 6th episode from Season 8 to be called a dull cubic zirconia. It'll be joining Bart After Dark with the Maison Derriere.
Yep.
A Millhouse Divided when Kirk and Luann split up. Lisa's Date with Density when she dates
Wow.
Nelson.
Dude, that is a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that great.
Dude, it's good.
This one's better.
No way.
I
This
mean, look
one-
at the index. Some kind of genius only ranked it a gold instead of a cubic. So I feel like someone was in the right on that episode. I mean, it's very good. Gold is a good ranking.
Damn you,
Is it perfect? No, definitely not.
I'll also be joining in Marge We Trust, the Listen Lady, and the Simpsons spin-off showcase.
Ah, nice.
You know, this one and the Maison Derriere does make sense to me. They do feel about the same sort of.
There's a comparison to be made. there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is in Season 8 where the veneer of The Simpsons is starting to wear a little bit. Like, it's still an excellent season, but yeah, it does still have a...
Yeah, well, that's it. It's a good episode, but I don't want to feel like it's a flawless episode.
And in a rare time, we've got a reputation justified for a classic episode. Is that reputation justified?
Is that reputation justified?
Robert Canning of IGN.
Ooh, Robert the Feather Touch Canning.
It's my favorite episode of the series, 9.8 out of 10.
Wow. Favorite? Not 10 out of 10. Not 3 cubics.
It's just wild that the Feather Touch said, best episode ever. 0.2
9.8 out
marks
of 10.
lower than
What the fuck is that?
Well, maybe he appreciates that just because it's favorite doesn't mean it's flawless.
It's
But then again-
his favorite.
Yeah.
It's the top of his
Yeah.
scale.
which caps out at 9.8, apparently.
I mean, like, Bioshock's one of my all-time favorite games. I would still 9 out of 10 it.
Wow. Then what is 10 out of 10?
The only 10 out of 10s I've ever given was Super Mario Galaxy 2 and Braid.
Neither are your favorite game, though.
No.
You are one son of a gun, aren't you?
I know what I likes, and I know how to rank things.
You know what you like.
Yep.
But it's
I
not
know
as
how
good
it's-
as things could be.
I know what, for me personally, makes something better than what is necessarily objectively great. Henceforth, Lisa's Date with Density, gold.
This
Still
guy.
arguing about an episode some
This
150 episodes
I
after we
found
reviewed
my
it.
hill, and I shall die here.
The same hill that Lisa Nelson kissed on, and it was a beautiful moment. Fuck you, man.
You can see the exact frame where his heart breaks.
I know, and it doesn't break enough.
Ooh, the Ralph episode. I was the solo gold on that one. There's a hill to die on. Anyway, so yeah, I sort of hinted at it earlier. We're 173 odd episodes into this podcast, and
Prime number.
We finally made it halfway.
well, yeah, assuming that The Simpsons will keep on going,
Forever.
they won't.
Never fear, they have stories for years.
Is it really a prime number?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
How do you know?
I mean, divide it by something.
1
Other-
itself. So I did the math, and yeah, we've got like 50 episodes of the podcast left before we catch up to The Simpsons.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I just thought I wanted to mention that yeah, we're essentially now in our final year of the podcast.
We're all grown up.
I know, it's been 4 and a bit years now. And
What?
that'll bring us up to
Beautiful.
5. I know, we're just like little babies in the dank.
Little drunk babies.
Do you guys remember that time when...
Oh, I sure do.
Hey, don't turn this into a clip show. We've reviewed all the clip shows. It took hours, but we did it. It's done. But no, I just sort of wanted to mention it as well for, our listeners. If there's anyone you want to have us back or particular episodes you want us to do, now's the time. We've only got 50 shows left, and as I can say from doing 173 of these things now, that time will fly by.
Full of such exciting moments as...
Stop it.
as-
Stop, you're drifting. You're going all dreamy. Put that harp away.
Damn it, someone put the room back in focus. There we go.
So yeah, if you want us any particular guests or whatever, hit them up, hit us up, let us know. But I mean, before we get out of here, we got a little bit of time. What have we been into lately? Books, TV, music, movies. We haven't done this bit in a while.
I know.
We've had a lot of new guests lately, and there've been a lot of new sandwiches to cover.
So many sandwiches.
Oh, by the way, Chag, I tried looking for that document that you gave us for the Dan Burger.
My sandwich is gone?
And I can't find it, but so I've just put on the website. Is this accurate? The Dan Burger is like a burger with a lot except pineapple?
I guess it'll do. It's not as pretentious as my first burger.
Didn't you have like a saga written for that?
I tried finding it. I just lost to the annals of MSN Messenger.
It might be on my computer. Depends if I looked it up on my phone.
That's the way it
or
goes,
my computer.
man.
Green does
Sometimes you eat the burger, and sometimes the burger eats dust.
What have you been into lately, Beach?
I'm trying to find. I had a list a long time ago of garbage that I
A
hated.
list of garbage?
Yeah, there we go. I found
Pringles
it.
cans.
Things I hated. The new remake of Pet Sematary.
Yep.
Detective Pikachu.
With John Lithgow.
Oh, man, Detective Pikachu was shit.
You
Yep.
do a John Lithgow voice by doing the face that you'd say when you're saying "gow" with Lithgow.
Yep. A lot of history
Okay.
in that ride. No, the 80s version of Pet Sematary is better. The remake is bullshit. Brightburn sucks. Escape Room sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I went into those with the best of intentions. But no, what I have seen, did like, and I'm slowly starting to dislike, was Killing Eve. Season 1 and 2 are very good. Season 3, not good. So
I don't even think that show knew what it wanted to do in season 1.
I don't think so, but I think that worked for it. It's a show more about characters than it is about actual plots, because they pull some shit that I would be much angry at on another show for doing. But, you know, the Jodie Comer, who plays Villanelle, is ridiculously good. So, yes, I would recommend giving that a crack. Hey, it's not going to be for everybody, but I liked it.
Sandra Oh was really good in
Oh,
it
yeah,
as well.
she's good in things.
All right, you, Chag, what have you been into or not been into, I guess, is an option now.
There's always room for hate.
There is always room for hate. Been crazy into Joe Haley, who's like the Hobart, Tasmania death tech metal guitarist from fucking
Psychroptic.
Holy shit, dude. Guy can play like what? Like what?
What have I been into?
What about you?
I've
What have
been
you
playing a fair bit of 51 worldwide games. That fucking thing rules. I know how it sounds, but like it's made officially by Nintendo and it's really good. Oh, and also I've been watching this series on Viceland, is that what it's called? I have to use a VPN to get to it. Anyway, it's called Dark Side of the Ring. It's this documentary about some of the darker stories in the world of professional wrestling, and they don't just do like...
Oh, I saw an ad for that.
It's really good. Like, and they don't just do WWF stuff either. Like, you hear about a few promotions and stuff that were a bit more obscure, or wrestlers that, you know, couldn't work in the big fucking leagues anymore and had to... Like, it sounds really depressing, and it is,
Yes.
but like...
But it looks sick. I'm really interested.
No, it's a very well put together documentary. They've got really good access to a lot of the big players in the game. And they also sort of lean into the whole unreliable narration of it. Like, they do air the contradicting interviews and,
Oh, cool.
like, they don't, shy away from he said, she said sort of stuff, which sounds a bit bitchy, but I think it comes off more as even-handed.
Yeah.
Part of the nature of wrestling storytelling.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep. So a YouTube site called Storied has a series called Monstrum, which is all about various folklore monsters and stuff. I really like monsters and folklore monsters, so check that out. And I have a huge crush on the woman that runs it.
Oh,
Is
there we go.
me?
She has a PhD in being like a monster expert on
pretty
things.
cool.
I'm like, hello. Tell me more.
Oh, I was watching Norsemen on Netflix. That was pretty fun. Have you watched Norsemen?
No, Siobhan's mum loves it. And
Oh, that must turn you off it.
no, like, I just didn't get the first episode I watched. It's like,
Yeah. Look, it took
Weird
me a
Viking
few
sketch
episodes
show?
to get a vibe. Yes. It's like watching The Office or like Anchorman or The Office.
and when Jean turns to the camera, is like, can you believe the people I work with?
Exactly. And then they're like, what, you mean the raping and pillaging? I don't know if I'm comfortable with the raping. And the other guy's like, well, it depends on the it goes there. And you're just like, damn, you know what? This is the sort of question that they must have asked each other. Do you have any other notes to address the rest of the committee? Well, actually, yes, I wasn't exactly comfortable with the direction you were taking at the last raping and pillaging. I thought we might like to discuss what our feelings are and maybe come up with a mission statement.
Right.
So corporate Vikings.
Actually, no, not really. But man, it was so much fun.
Okay.
I totally recommend getting into that.
Awesome. All right, and yeah, before we get out of here, plugs for our other stuff. Our upcoming series, Pulp Fury Radio, is upcoming.
And the series.
Our scripted anthology series, written by BT, produced by me, directed by both of us, starring a lot of people.
With original music by Danny Rosewell.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I think
true.
I was in there somewhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, lots of previous guests returned for this. Like all the Baby Beard media team have a cameo, and Tom Burton, heaps of people.
Still very excited, and it's taken so long to get out of post-production, but God, it's close.
We're looking at the horizon, man. It's got to be really good. So yeah, check in with pulpfuryradio.com for when we're releasing that. Our first play, I think we can announce that, will be called
It Came from the Bottom of the Ocean, but also from space.
So look out for that one. Where should you be looking? Up high or down low? You don't know. Pulp Fury Radio.
Woo!
And BT, our other podcast.
Our other podcast is Thrones of Game, the Game of Thrones podcast that dares to watch the series backwards. I've already seen the entire show, but until we had started watching in reverse order, Elliot had never seen a single episode. Gives us a unique perspective on things. We're the only Game of Thrones podcast left in town. And
Fuck you, Ben Fennell and Adam Knox.
Still don't know who that is. So
they're the hosts of Are You Talking to Me?
Are they still going, though?
Occasionally.
How? They have no material, and we have all the material, and we're better than them.
Yeah, fuck you, Ben Fennell and Adam
Fight
Knox.
me, whoever you guys I keep forgetting the name of.
Yeah, outside the cafeteria after recess.
Yeah, I'll run away like a man.
Actually, you said you were getting into that podcast recently, Daddy.
Thrones of Game.
You were like fucking...
Oh, your podcast. Yeah, it's so good.
For a couple of days there, you were sending like me and BT quotes about things we're saying.
I'm trying not to. Like I mentioned before, when I listen to you guys' podcast, I keep having like witty comebacks because I'm like hanging out with you guys. Except you're pre-recorded from weeks ago, and I'm sitting all alone by myself in my car. But you guys are so much fun.
Thank you. It's good fun to do.
Do you set the fader on your car's speaker to all the way in the back seat so it's like you're chauffeuring us around?
That would make me fucking cry.
Yeah. Phil sent me a quote from one episode, and I was like, oh, we said that? I didn't remember.
I really like your names for the characters. You're so...
The one thing I'm getting worse at, actually, is I meet more characters and start to get to know them.
Yeah, because
Miss
their names are
Sunday.
getting
I just met Miss Sunday. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Apparently we quoted, looks like a lady, acts like a cunt. It's like, I don't remember saying that, but okay.
Actually,
Stick your finger in her bum is the third type of sex.
A friend of mine who listened to some of the old indexes recently sent me, ha ha ha, you said broke her fuck cherry.
The fuck does that mean?
How far back is that going?
It must be dank days because, yeah, I have no memory of that.
Dude.
We've done 173.
But yeah, for the
Pre-dank.
hundreds of hours of podcasting we've done now, I can't remember everything I
All
said.
for free. Brought to you by Screaming.
Squarespace.
I suppose that's it for the podcast then. Danny, thank you for joining us tonight.
Elliot, thank you for joining us tonight.
You're welcome. Thanks.
For joining us tonight.
BT, thank you as always.
No, ahoy.
And I've been your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill. And once again, thank you, Screaming. That's all must in the house!
Thank you for listening to the Simpsons Index podcast, which is also an online spreadsheet available at thesimpsonsindex.com. You can chat to us online at facebook.com/thesimpsonsindex or at Simpsons Index on Twitter and Instagram. And now please stay tuned for the bonus scenes!
Hello and welcome to the Simpsons Index. I am your host, Elliot Jay O'Neill. Here with us as always, except when he's not, BT Calloway.
Good day to you.
Ahoy, hoy, hoy.
Today we'll be reviewing classic literature. We begin with Herman Melville's
They come from
Moby
3
Dick.
different centuries. First, the Bible.
First Gothic, then Romantic era, and finally current.
Finally, the dystopian future. In this episode,
Is brought to you by Screaming.
We begin with Treasure Island, then with something older than that, And then Bridget Jones's Diary.
First Treasure Island, then the Epic of Gilgamesh, and then Bridget Jones. I like how it took me a while to hear the words Bridget Jones' Diary.
I don't know books. I'm surprised I pulled out Treasure Island and Bridget Jones's Diary before.
Nicely
My
done.
God, who are you?
Both of which have been referenced in The Simpsons, so I think I know why you know them.
Damn it.
Also, both movies made by the Muppets.
Ooh, I think I know why I know them.
Miss Piggy's Diary.
Tell me you wouldn't watch that.
Of course I would. It's got the Muppets in it.
Exactly.
Watch fucking Muppets go to space, for God's sake.
Hey, that's a great movie. At me, Hollywood.
Dude, Miss Piggy's Diary.
I know.
Oh, I would watch it. Yes.
I'm just trying to have it all.
Hugh Grant's
All
in
right.
it.
Yeah,
So-
Kermit as Hugh Grant and Fozzie as the other guy.
Colin Firth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fozzie and Colin Firth have a lot in common, hair-wise at least.
I love it.
I use my shins to pick up stuff.
Sure you do.
No, it's my kind of challenge, you know.
The Shin Challenge.
You know,
The Shinin.
drop a bit of capsicum on the ground. It's like
Yep.
boring pickup handway. Hello, shins.
Boring pickup handways, right. The amount of times I've just looked at a beer on the table and thought, geez, man, handway? No. Boring pickup
Shins.
handway.
I could get you a bowling ball if you'd prefer it to be thematically relevant.
Yes. You could roll it down my alley.
Let's drink beer from a bowling ball. Hells to the yeah.
And sip champagne
Sip
from a shoe.
champagne from a shoe.
No, that's disgusting.
Shooey, shoo. Oh my God, that was the first shooey. Sorry, we're just going to take a quick pause there.
We're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back after these cartoons.
Is this you? Well, gee willikers, I really want to express myself right now, but I don't really know how to do it. Why don't you try screaming? That's right. Whether you want to express pain, enjoyment, or pure pleasure, screaming may very well be for you.
You'll never know what I meant.
He's getting it already. Screaming, available now from your own throat. Screaming not available in all areas. Apologies to all mutes.
Not available from all throats. And we're back. Hi, you've been watching The Simpsons Index, starring your favorite host and mine, Elliot Jay O'Neill.
Hey.
Feel it needs a bit more wind up there. The three-part...
Elliot Jay O'Neill! Oh, wow. Wrestling wind up.
Yeah.
Weighing in at... I don't know how pounds
rude.
works. I know.
Yeah. Fucking, what's his name? Michael Buffer just goes, weighing in at 319 pounds. Rude!
Okay. We could talk about your hat. We could talk about your hat. Your hat.